everybody in Macon, Georgia, and everyone else around the world through the World Wide Web. This is the Morning Roast for Tuesday, April 16th, 2013. I hope you guys filled in your taxes last night.
How much are you getting back? Some people should start chattering away about that.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Hope you get. Oh, okay.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
I think Ant is here, right?
Yeah, he just pulled
He's
up
just
in the
pulling
driveway.
up, guys. Anyway,
It's 8:10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time in Macon,
late.
Georgia. Live from the Nut House.
we're trying to get our stuff together here today.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, you can't see it.
Oh, you can't see it.
Oh, well, Ant's car reverse doesn't work, so he's
Yes.
got to park on a hill
It's
and
hysterical.
let it roll backwards.
Okay.
It just is hysterical. All right, now we're foggy.
Yeah.
It's foggy and
Almost
it's
like our
sunny
weather.
all at the same time.
Yes.
All right, Ed.
Yeah, well, I'm trying.
Nah, boy.
Like me.
Anyway, this is what I see when I wear glasses. When I don't wear glasses.
Well, it's 8:11.
it's perfect.
Yeah,
Ed.
it's perfect.
Uh,
It's 8:11 a.m. right now. It's 55 degrees in Macon. It's really sunny. There will be a chance of showers later this afternoon with a high of 85 degrees and a low of 61.
There is going to be shower. There's not a cloud in the sky. When the hell is it coming in?
Probably during the
Good
afternoon.
morning, knucklehead.
Yeah, baby.
What the hell is wrong with you? You look like somebody licked your face and everything came off.
Sorry I'm late. Sorry I'm late, but Heather and I were playing Alice in Wonderland.
That's all right.
She
We're
was the
late,
Red
too. We
Queen
just
and
got
I was
on.
the White Rabbit.
Got on at
I have to be
8:08.
late. Ah!
That's what you get for banging so late.
No.
Anyway, so it
I
is
didn't say that was
always
going on.
it is always good to be here.
You
Anthony's
did
here
well.
with us.
Yeah,
What
What is
same-
the break-in collection?
that's. I know you were talking about. You wanted to.
I didn't see the sequel.
Yeah,
Is that all of it?
Yes, it has
Cool.
all three
You gonna let me
breaking.
borrow this?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Awesome.
By the way, folks,
Let's put the break-in collection
if you
up.
take a look at Anthony this morning,
I look like a penis.
remember the movie Powder? There he is.
What the hell
You
is
can
this right
predict
here?
the future.
Sinead O'Connor.
Yes. Sinead O'Connor before she got
You
fat
are one
and ugly.
motherfucker.
Give me the picture of the Pope.
You know
Where's
that?
the Pope? Where's
You
the
know
Pope
that?
picture?
You are one ugly motherfucker with your head shit.
The feeling's mutual, right?
Anyway,
Look,
today-
it's calling me one ugly.
You need some baby powder now all over.
I know. I shaved last night. Cut my back of my head about 3 times. I can't
I didn't
shave.
give a damn
I
thing.
can't shave worth of shit. I'm always using these little cheap ass
Did
razors.
you get cut?
Well, you know, I got these cheap ass razors from Kroger. I couldn't find
yeah.
my electric razor.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, I hate those
Yeah,
things.
no,
if I'm able to afford it, I like to use the Gillette Pro Glide.
Yeah, well.
yeah, those things are only like $12.
It's okay. Did you
for
put
one.
alcohol on it?
No,
Oh.
Well, actually, 15.
I don't drink anymore.
Actually, it's actually like $17
Yeah.
if you're lucky to find them that cheap. That's
Right.
that's just for like the 4 blades pack. But if you want
Yeah.
an 8-pack, you're gonna be
It's
spending at least
ridiculous.
$30.
It's ridiculous.
Right.
And you have to have a special razor or no?
Well,
You got like white boy hair anyway.
that was just a recessive gene, but
Yeah.
just
So,
but
go ahead.
But anyway, I rather use. I mean, I used to use Bump Fighter because I got tired of using real. That's why I grew a beard like my senior year in college. I got tired of shaving it, and also I got tired of using that magic shave. Those who have African American friends, male friends, is kind of like this depilatory.
AKA black people.
Yes, black people. Yes.
Yeah, which
I
I
had to be
bet
the white guy. So
hardly
my
any of
head's
them.
really white today.
Yeah. I mean,
Morning Bean.
Yeah, morning bean, but it's like a it's kind of like a mixture of like Nair meets plaster of Paris. We just got like get this powder and put it into some type of cup and then mix it all together and just put it on your face. But just for men, you gotta leave it on there no more than 5 minutes, or just stuff really starts getting crazy. You start taking off like layers of skin and stuff like that. And,
Right.
And I had the high brand, the gold can. The red and the blue cans, those were like the regular and
Right.
advanced forms, but the gold can was
Derek
like the
was
highest.
a VIP.
Yeah,
You were in the VIP room.
but you have to be really careful of it because if you have it on there too long, you really look bad. I actually had to use a sick day just to go to clinic because all the pores are all out, and shoot, my supervisor saw me coming in and saw all the red bumps on my face and stuff like that. Just
Go home, Derek.
yes, yeah,
Go home.
yeah.
Go home and clean that up.
He said, yeah, go. I gotta go see the doctor. Yeah, go. Yeah, go ahead, man. Go do what you gotta do. Go.
I like the set. This looks great. Look how good this
Yeah, it
looks.
looks really
The
good.
color's good. It's good y'all opened the blinds finally.
I
This
know.
is what you should have done ages ago.
Well,
And look, break-in's looking good, even though there's glare on it. Look at all this shit piling up. It'll be funny. In about 3 weeks, we'll have it up to here, and our heads will be barely poking
I know,
over.
it'll be like, hello.
Right.
Look like Kilroy was here or
Yeah.
something.
That's
Well,
great.
the only thing you can see now is my head. But anyway, a lot to cover today.
Yeah,
A
baby.
We
whole
want
lot
to
of
make
cover.
sure
All
that
the good and the bad.
that good and bad. We want to make sure that people are aware that we have 4 events going on today, I believe.
Is it 4?
Wow.
Yes,
I thought it was
we
3.
have. I'll tell you why. We have my press conference that you didn't mention.
No, that's one I counted though.
Uh,
That's why I put Irv as MAD.
Ah,
I did mention that one.
Okay, I'm
in
sorry,
a
I
roundabout
wasn't
way.
sure.
You didn't see the post. I put
Yeah.
Irv as MAD.
so
Two
we have
different find
4
out why.
things.
What's
We
the-
have MAD. We have 5 o'clock.
yes. Front of
Uh,
City Hall
right,
with
City Hall.
Cheryl Davis and the Justice for Junebug crowd.
We have
6 o'clock City Council meeting right after
6
that.
o'clock City Council
It's gonna be
meeting.
wing dang.
I
dinner
guess
for
you
the-
were right. It was only 3.
I thought 3. I didn't know before.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
Unless
guess.
you had something else planned. I mean, you might have had
And then,
something
yeah,
else.
who the hell knows? We're going to be downtown, and I'm sure that the press is going to meet with us after we bombard City Hall, because what I want to do is grab everybody that's protesting and tell them, let's go inside and make a scene.
No, we're gonna go in for the City Council stuff anyway.
Right.
Because I'm
But
excited
what I'm
to
saying
talk
is
about
that
precinct
bring
3
everybody.
folders. Oh, well, I think that was the plan. I think
Yeah.
that was the plan. Yeah.
Bring everybody. And then I want to make sure that my name gets on there because I want to speak.
Right.
Because I'm sure that either Ellis or so one of these a-holes.
Well, they allow 3 on the same topic.
Right.
I'm not going to be on that topic, so I don't take one of you guys' space.
Yeah.
My topic's going to be the precinct 3 folders, disciplinary records.
Mm.
That's what I'm going to talk about.
By the way,
So-
I did get a hold of Donnie Curry yesterday via chat.
All right, how's Donnie?
And I said to him, I apologize. I told him the reasoning behind it. I hope he takes it. I hope he understands it.
Well, he'll
And if
appreciate
not, what can I say?
He'll
I've
appreciate
already
it.
done my duty.
it.
You can't expect. You can't
I thought it smelled funny when I
accept
came in
my
here.
apology. Then screw you. Well, anyway.
And you said it on the show as well, so he knows you told
And
him.
I'm saying it again. But I want people to call. I think the point I was trying to make yesterday, which we talked about after the show, is it's okay to call. It's okay even to be long-winded. But the purpose of the
Just
call...
don't be Donnie Curry.
Exactly. Just don't take up a half an hour with Anthony. And we're sitting here like lumps trying to chime
You
in,
could
but
have
we
come
can't.
in. You could have come in.
I know, but you know.
I just wanted to know why Donnie was in the position for his 16-year-old girl to smoke
Well,
weed.
I like Donnie, and he makes the show interesting. By the way, DJ Music My Life 2013, welcome. We're going to call you DJ Muse, because I'm not going to say that name all the
Or
time.
just say the Muse.
Yeah, DJ Muse.
Just the Muse. We got the Bean, we got the Muse.
Yeah, MJ Mean Gene.
Good morning.
He's not.
Who is all on right now, Irvin?
Right
Since you
now
are
we
the
got
control master
Saibuki.
with the-
We got DS Photo Guy.
Hello,
We love you.
Saibuki. Hello, DS.
The Bean.
Hello, Bean.
Vorpal Pain in the Ass Bite. Yirak. Wildcat.
What's up,
Ellen
Yirak?
Macon.
Ellen Macon.
3 Bears.
3.
Mahari Nutsack.
What's up, Nutsack?
DJ Music My Life 2013. And
Muse?
Nick and Lynn.
Nick
Welcome.
and Len. Hello.
We are so glad you're here.
Yes.
We got like I said, a long-winded show.
With a bunch of
Hopefully we'll
long-winded
go a
people.
little overtime to make up those 10 minutes for you that we were late. And
13 minutes
here we
late.
go.
So, you want to start off with the big news?
Might
The
as well.
big,
They're
big
waiting
Go
for
with
news.
the big international news.
Okay.
Yes, the bombing in Boston.
Yes.
Yeah.
From CNN.
I think we have a video. Ed's going to throw that up in a minute.
Okay.
But you know what? Somebody said, you mentioned the numbers. It was you who said it.
What?
You made this connection that they should have known, they should have had heightened alert, especially with a big event like that.
Well, I made the connection that it was close to April 20th.
Which
the 19th,
is? Explain to them.
Well, remember I said on the show yesterday when you were about to do your daily
Yeah, but
bread,
they probably don't remember.
well, some
Just
were there
repeat
and
it.
some weren't on. Yesterday, look back at the recording. Ed has the show on YouTube already, I guess.
Yeah.
And around, I guess it was close to the end of the show, Urban's about to do his daily bread. And then he said the date, and it just, bam, it popped in my mind when he said April 15th. I was like, hey, wait a minute. It's, I just realized we're coming up on April 19th, April 20th, in that area where Timothy McVeigh, Oklahoma City bombing happened on the 19th, and then Columbine happened on the 20th. And then Derek had chimed in, Hitler's birthday, which is April 20th. And then I'd said something like, well, what? Wonder if something's going to happen this year. And then we go home, and 5-6 hours later,
There we go.
there we go, right? So, I mean, I just, my whole thing is just, what is the obsession with this time of the year for these people to do this stuff? Is there more of a connection other than just, because some people don't believe some people don't believe it was the Hitler birthday thing. Now, some people think that's why they did Columbine. But
I think Boston Marathon, Paul Revere, that's when he did his run through.
Did he do it in April?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes, the British are coming. The British are
And
coming.
it was in April?
Yes, it was in
Oh,
April.
wow. Did anybody say that online? Wow.
Not that I know of.
Look that up.
Okay.
That might be the connection. That maybe it was some radical, right-wing, patriot guy who thinks that President Obama
He's a schmuck.
is taking his place into communism, taking it into socialism, right? Maybe that is it. Maybe it is something like
Well, look.
what was that guy's name? Eric Rudolph?
Yes.
That did the bombs that lived up in the woods in North
Atlanta.
Carolina?
Well, and let me just say
Yeah,
this
maybe it's
about
somebody like
Obama
that.
and his so-called socialism. This country has been socialist now for the last 50 years, literally, folks. I mean, when you have Medicare, Medicaid, that's been around since the days of FDR, I think FDR did more to socialize than Obama. Obama's just picking up where he left off, if you want to go there. But every government has a socialistic feel to it anyway. So it's ridiculous. You're all walking around saying, oh, he's a socialist. Well, so what? I mean, that's the way society works. And the only society that's not socialist is North Korea. Obviously, the people are starving. And there's not much there for them to look at. That's what not being socialist looks like. How's that?
You might have a point, Irv.
Oh, yeah. I ain't stupid.
I'd have to research more governments. I'm sure there's more than just one that's not socialist. I'm sure there's a lot of small ones across the world that are probably not socialist either.
Well, I mean, look. A lot of people killed, or hurt, rather. A little boy killed.
3 killed. Girl killed, right?
How many people are dead?
I heard last the 3. Well, let's
What's
let Derek
3,
go.
right?
Derek's got
Well,
it.
the story.
All right,
here.
why don't you read it?
2 bombs struck near the finish line of the Boston Marathon yesterday, turning a celebration into a bloody scene of destruction. Boston Police Commissioner Ed Davis said Monday night that the death toll had risen to 3. Scores were injured at the scene.
Wow.
It says over 100 so far have been injured. One of the dead was an 8-year-old boy, according to a state law enforcement source. Hospitals report at least 144 people are being treated, with at least 17 of them in critical condition and 25 in serious condition. At least 8 of the patients are children.
Wow.
At least 10 people injured had limbs amputated, according to a terrorism expert briefed on the investigation. Several of the patients treated at Massachusetts General Hospital suffered injuries to lower limbs that will require serial operations in the coming days. Trauma surgeon Peter Fagenholz said Monday night, some injuries were so severe amputations were necessary, he added. In Washington, President Barack Obama vowed any responsible individuals, any responsible groups will feel the full weight of justice. Boston's a tough and resilient town, he said, adding that the Americans will stand by Bostonians every single step of the way.
Well, there you have it.
Thank you, DB.
Thank you, DB.
The blasts were about 50 to 100 yards apart.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Anyone
Help
see
us
it?
all. You know,
I'll tell you what, some of those... Go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, I agree with you, what you said yesterday. Somebody should have been on this. If you have an event
Yes.
with thousands of people.
Yes. A
This
big
is the
event.
same
I mean,
crap that happened in
well-known-
9/11.
A well-known event. This is
We
not,
got Kerry running around. By the way, I'm not a big fan of John Kerry.
Right.
I mean, he talks like he's like, oh, the people. He really pisses me off every time he opens up his mouth.
Right.
I mean, where the hell is everybody when it comes to this kind of stuff? You're going to have an event that big, thousands of people there. I mean, just put the word out. Watch out, guys. Be aware. Heighten the alert. Heighten it to what it used to be.
Check your trash cans.
Exactly. I mean, come
Check.
on, man.
And you know what kills me is that. Well, that's a bad choice of words. But you know what irks me is I saw some of the news yesterday, local news.
Yeah.
And they were talking via phone to a lady from Centerville because they were talking about how there were 8 people from the Middle Georgia area that ran in that Boston Marathon.
Really?
Yes. And they talked to this one young lady who was from Centerville. She called in on I think it was Channel 13, the CBS affiliate, and basically told her little account of it. And this is what kind of made me think it was even more ridiculous because at this point I'd already written my post on Facebook.
Yeah.
But she says, and you could Ed could probably pull up her call if he has time or wants to or whatever next week. I mean, that's tomorrow if he can't get to it today. But she says that before the bombing, her and her friends had noticed there were a lot of security around. There were a lot of police.
Yeah, well, what the hell were they doing?
That's my thing. SWAT members. I think she referenced even that there was some military around.
Real effective.
And I was, and when she first said it, I thought she was saying, after the bombing. But then, no, I realized, I rewound it on the DVR we have going now at the house, the apartment. And I said, and no, she said that all this was around, that there was a really heavy security before the bombs went off. Because her and her friends commented on how, well, God, why the hell do we have so much security? Almost like it's never seems this obvious.
People get so dumbified.
It made
Why
me
do we have
think-
so much security? Hello?
Well, it made me think, though, they had the security, and yet they did nothing about it. And they didn't do their job. It was like, what, was it a bunch of Officer Suttons on the security there? I mean, really, or Burns, those types that are just incompetent as hell, that they're there, but all they're doing is standing around looking at the woman's butts hanging out in their marathon gear, or they, oogling, the thighs or whatever. I mean, what the hell are they doing? I'm serious. If you have that much security there, none of them thought to go look through each garbage bin or mailboxes or whatever around the mail. I don't know where this bomb went off. I'm assuming it's in a garbage bin.
I think they picked the Boston Marathon because the Boston Marathon always falls, according to this, a Patriots Day, commemorating the opening battle of Revolutionary War, and also the day when Paul Revere, well, at least the upcoming dates, his ride.
You see that? More connections.
Here's a picture of the mysterious guy on the roof.
I heard about this. I have not seen the picture. I'll look at it in a minute. Okay, cool. Where is he?
Now remember, folks,
Okay.
although this is a terrorist attack, we really don't know who did it yet. This, like you said, Anthony, this could be
It could be anything.
the work of
A
an
local,
American.
a domestic guy who's pissed off about whatever.
Yeah.
It could be terrorist. I mean, they reported at first that a Saudi guy was apprehended. One of the first reports they said was that right when one of the bombs went off, this Saudi guy ran. But come on, surprise! People ran all over the place. I mean,
Yeah.
if a bomb goes off, you're going to run. And then some other civilian tackled him.
Yeah.
And then held him down, and
That
then
was
they brought him
pretty bad
in.
picture.
They brought him in, and
That was terrible, though, that guy. He lost his leg.
Yeah, this is pretty sad
He
pictures,
just
Ed.
ran the damn marathon, now he lost his leg.
Look at this
And
guy.
the
Look at his legs are blown
Yeah,
off.
The
should've-
little girl.
should have gave a warning to the
The little
audience.
girl was running 26 miles for the 26 kids that were killed.
I thought it was a girl too, but it said a boy.
No,
But
it was a little girl.
I know the
got
story
a
said a
picture.
boy. I thought it was a girl also.
Yeah.
Well, really, the last mile, I think, was
for
the
Sandy Hook.
Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
Because there was 26 children, and there's 26.2 miles in a marathon.
Let's just say this, okay? this is going to continue. This is not going to stop ever.
Well, we said that though, didn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, haven't we said on this show and before we had this show that terrorism has been around for centuries?
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere. I don't care what president's in office who claims he's going to stop it all, or she's going to stop it all, or she's going to put the iron fist down, or he's going to put. It's not happening. You're not going to be able to stop wackos going around where they want to go and occasionally getting some bomb off and causing damage. It's just going to happen. Expect more of it. I mean,
very sad. Very sad.
All right.
Not only sad, but scary. Now, the only good news is Macon,
let's
Georgia.
do it.
And Macon, Georgia, it ain't going to happen.
Morning
Hello,
roast.
morning roast.
Oh, yeah, so I was trying to see if Irving Martinez is there.
Oh, this sounds like Channel 13. Irvin.
Hi, this is Irving.
Hi, this is Irving. This is Harry.
Hi, how are you, dear?
I'm doing great. I'm leaving out in 1 hour. So, yeah.
Oh, cool. So you're coming here.
You ready for the video?
Yeah, let's go to the video while Irvin I think that's our guest, right? Underwood or Undercarriage or whatever.
I think it's
We heard
8:31
from
a.m.
Matt, some people wondered if it wasn't from a trash can in the area. What will they be looking for, Lou?
Well, on the cameras, they're going to try to pick up activity. I mean, depending on how far back.
And let me tell you, just a moment, we are looking at pictures right now of what appears to be that explosion with smoke rising. We actually could see, it did appear that we saw at least one person fall down, although it looked like perhaps their injuries were minor. But we are looking, just to give you a sense of what was described as two huge bangs, two huge explosions that happened there at the Boston Marathon. And witnesses reported seeing the smoke that you just saw there. We're looking at authorities sort of rushing to the scene. These are some of the first pictures that are coming into CNN from our affiliate WBZ. This happened just moments ago near the finish line of the Boston Marathon. And Lou, are you able to see these pictures?
I am watching.
So what are you seeing as you see that explosion and you see the authorities rushing toward the area?
Well, at this point, you know, they're attempting to identify first and foremost what exactly took place, and without going too far out on the limb, I would conservatively say that these were probably planned explosions. At this point, they're handling a crime scene. So, on top of the fact that they're trying to render aid to anyone that may have been injured, they're now dealing with this as a crime scene. They're trying to identify exactly what took place, what explosive was used, if an explosive was used, the nature of it, whether accelerants. They're reviewing cameras, as I mentioned to you a few moments ago. There's a whole undertaking at this point, and I will say to you that they will gather a tremendous amount of information probably in the next few hours as to exactly what took place in those garbage pails, if in fact that was the location that the explosion occurred.
Is that it?
No.
Okay.
Good morning. Boom.
Yeah, I saw that over and over yesterday.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Janet, we're sorry to interrupt you right now. We're just getting some new video. We do want to let people know that we got video of the explosion as it happened, and there it is. It just, well, we wanted to warn you. Wow, that was an intense explosion. Look at the reaction. Wow. That was one. Yeah. There were two. We're seeing this for the first time as well, and it looks like it happened in front of, I believe, Marathon Store. And there was a second explosion. I think we're just
Morning, Rose.
And you can definitely hear the screams and the panic of the people there.
There's the second one, I believe, unless that was just the camera readjusting its...
If we can cue this video back up, maybe. Once again, if you're tuning in now, we just have video of the explosion at the finish line of the Boston Marathon. It is, we'll probably work on getting that re-cued for you.
But we seemed, right before we got news of this, to be bouncing off some of those lows. People started to hear this news, of course, on Twitter, actually, as one of the first places. The Boston Globe came out and said that there were these two powerful
Yes, there might be a
explosions
disclaimer right here.
at the site of the marathon, at the finish line, in fact. And you can see the video now, a lot of chaos obviously ensuing.
And by the way, we should also point out that there are still, you're seeing the National Guard there trying to work to clean the mess. There are still so few people that are on the scene, first responders who are able to try to make sense of this. Again, this is all live. We're witnessing this together in real time. This has just happened in Boston.
And this is, of course, a very big deal in Boston, a very big deal in New England, and even nationally as well. This marathon, very well known. It's actually had, interestingly enough, on Patriots Day, which is today. It's the third Monday in April. And, you know, they have just people that come from all over the world to participate in this. Thousands of spectators, roughly 500,000 spectators. It brings in every year,
and by the way,
thousands of runners.
Morning, Uncle Balti.
Thousands of spectators, and curious to know
Pesh
that
Radio
these
FM.
photos, that the police have been very effective at moving people away from where the explosions seem to have occurred. Again, we're not seeing a lot of smoke. What we are seeing, however, is clearly consternation on the ground as people try to come to grips with what has just happened, and more importantly, why it's happened. This could...
Okay.
And we're back.
Oh, God.
Thank you, Ed.
You take a look at that footage, and you can only imagine the adrenaline rush that every single person there had. How much... I mean, you could power a city with the energy that's going off there. I'm serious. I mean, not to make light of this or a joke about it.
Right.
But the adrenaline must have been tremendous. Tremendous.
Well, you see
and
that-
it's the same thing that happened with 9/11. When everybody felt it.
In Oklahoma City.
Everybody was feeling the same thing. Then today is the day that it's really the hardest day. Because these people have, if they could get any rest, you wake up, it's kind of like what used to be said, you're going to probably hate yourself in the morning. They wake up in the morning and it's a terrible thing. God help us.
Amen, gamer girl, I agree. I don't think everything has to be a conspiracy.
Terrorists. I think it was a bunch of buffoons trying to do
You think so?
Well, it's still
let me tell you
still terrorist. You mean you don't think it's
terror-
domestic?
I
You
don't
think it's
it was
domestic?
Like Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, you think it's domestic?
It's
terrorism.
just
Al-Qaeda,
probably just
dead.
some homegrown
Yeah,
terrorists.
a lot more
You
people
think it's
dead.
another like Timothy McVeigh type guy?
Yeah,
is what you think.
Lesbians. People think we just had terrorism since just only until like the last decade of the 20th century. Oklahoma, we had terrorism all throughout, even in the inception of this country. I mean, shoot. I mean, what do you think the KKK were? They weren't trick or treating year round. I mean, come on.
Trick or treat.
I mean,
Morning
those
crew,
guys.
please ask Vorp to stop trivializing this event with his stupid wisecrack.
That's bored.
Uncle
That's
Malty,
not-
that's her, that's him. Just
Ignore him.
Ignore him.
Just ignore
We ignore
Vorp.
him.
Yeah,
I mean,
Vorp.
it's his. He's
Vorp
going to
is
say his
stupid.
stuff, and he's entitled to it. He can think it's a conspiracy.
Whatever.
If he wants.
But
we're not going to tell people what to
get
think.
get used to Vorp. Don't like the more you ignore him, the better off you are.
Yeah.
Welcome, Screw. Welcome, PS Radio. I know that you have already welcomed him. Welcome, Irish Roots.
Rocking and rolling. The crowd's growing.
Rocking and rolling. We
Yes.
got all these new viewers, new chatters.
Yeah,
Make sure you put in what you're thinking. That's part of this whole thing. Give us a call at 478-254-6287.
Yes, I suck goats. That's what it
I
says.
Suck Goats. Make sure you call us. Let us know what you're thinking.
Yes.
We got a
And
picture of Vorpal right now, so everybody knows.
there's
who
Vorpal Bite. That's who
Bite
you're
is.
dealing with.
That's what you're
That's
dealing with.
horrible
A
by
big
right
fat
there.
slob who
Yeah.
sits on his computer and goes off on everybody.
That's a bad picture.
Also,
okay.
Oh, I got
you
the
know-
disclaimer.
Also, go like
Oh,
our Facebook page, The Morning Roast
You
Facebook
know,
page. We're coming up on 300 likes.
Yes.
I know.
Get
By
that.
the way, I just want to make mention. Uncle Malty brought this up. You're right, Uncle Malty. You can only imagine what happens in Syria. This is one bombing, and look at the mayhem it causes. And in Syria, it's every day.
They're used to it.
And so, look,
Israel and Palestine.
and
they're very-
Israel and
it's always-
Palestine, these people are dealing with this crap every day.
Yeah.
So, America, wake up. We're going to be dealing with this every day. Let's not bitch and moan, oh, look at us and look at us, and forget that there are others who are suffering this kind of stuff every day. Not to trivialize it, but again, let's make a point here. This stuff is going on all over the world.
Yes.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, and Great Beard Shaman said the fact that no one has claimed responsibility suggests to me that it is domestic.
It is, that's why. Yeah.
Also, no one has related to the bombing to tax day.
Yeah. All that comes into play. You got Patriots Day, Tax Day. You got
Farmers Ride.
The Middle Easterner that they're blaming.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. I said they. They said off the bat that guy was not a suspect. They just questioned him. He said he knew nothing about it, and I don't know. They probably already released that guy. I haven't heard, but
yeah, I mean
that's the profile of what people are going to do. That's the profile.
You know, that's interesting.
This is pretty much the first domestic act that we've had, the terroristic act that we've had. In this decade, I should say. First one in this decade.
Yeah.
The first one since 9/11.
Well, actually, no. We had the one in Benghazi.
I'm talking about on American soil.
Oh, on American soil.
On American soil.
Vorpal Bite disagrees. He says bombs and crowds are Muslim tactics. Well, Vorpal Bite, what the hell was Oklahoma City?
Yeah,
that was Timothy
Oklahoma City. Yeah.
That was pretty much near a crowd also.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had a whole building. You had a whole bunch of cars parked around, people milling
Yurak says...
what is Sabuki?
As soon as I go to read it,
Sabuki says, put the kettle on, suck it up, and move on.
Hey,
Chris is asking if it was a tax protest, though. That's an interesting...
Yes. Well, one kind of side note that I noticed on the first footage I saw of it, and I don't remember if it was CBS's footage. It might have been CBS's footage. It showed me kind of, and I'm not making light of this, it showed me, though, how obsessed these runners are with what they're doing and how much in the zone they are.
Yeah.
You notice this one lady crosses the line right around the time the blast goes off, and the camera angle catches her cross, and the bomb goes off, and you see this wave of just, kind of force knocking things over, people hitting the ground. She crosses the line, and she makes sure she turns off her timer. Just like, hey, I got through this damn race. I got to check my time. Bam, and meanwhile all this crap's going on behind her. And it made me think of how just, focused these runners are crazy. These people that love to run, man, they take this shit seriously.
Well,
I mean, this is a religion.
Well, yeah, people
religion. This lady's like,
people run around the world.
Boom! Yeah. All right, what was my time there?
That's crazy.
I mean, you watch the video.
There's the mystery, man, they're talking about.
But see, that already, and I'm not saying that's not true, but this is the stuff I was kind of getting at with Yurak about my reason I'm a little bit hesitant about conspiracies. Because the minute this comes out, I don't know that this was not photoshopped, right? That this little thing was not photoshopped.
Right.
That's with me. It's like, hey, there's a guy on the roof. Well, that shit could have been photoshopped.
Hello?
Yeah, if they don't say something for 2 hellos, just move on. If you're going to call the show, we want you to call
and
just
speak.
Start talking. You might not hear somebody say the morning roast. You might just hear hello. Just boom, say hi. I want to speak on the subject.
Said morning roast.
I'm just saying, even if you don't, just push the speaker, and guys that call, the girls, start talking. We're not going to give you. We don't screen calls on this show. The minute you call, we put you.
He said, "Don't throw my name on this one, Ant."
Who?
Yurak.
I'm not throwing your name on it. What I'm saying, Yurak, is it's the same. It's explaining my mentality towards pictures that come up online, whether it has to do with 9/11, Oklahoma, or this. I'm not going to just buy that. Hey, there's a guy walking on a roof. We don't know if somebody did Photoshop that picture. Somebody could have put that little blob up there. We don't know that. That's all I'm saying, Yurak. I'm not saying that you think that this is a conspiracy. I'm just saying that this is why it's hard for me.
Wow. The guy in the brown hat's from Brooklyn.
Yes.
They all sound alike. Rhode Island, New York.
They all look alike and they all sound alike.
Park the car and get the garbage out. I need that torito and Bensonized.
Welcome Bubbles. Welcome Red 312.
Vorpal Bite. I know you're trying to stir it up, but that's just, again, that's another one of your apples and oranges arguments, Vorpal Bite. Just because you show real pictures doesn't mean every picture you show is real. Come on, you're smarter than that, Vorp.
Yeah.
I mean, you can show real pictures from events and also throw in some fake pictures. Come on.
Vorpal says, Anthony, you're right, those victims were Photoshopped. Shut up. You're right, and I have not talked about the man until it was brought up this morning. But Chris and I both saw the man on the roof yesterday.
Okay, let me ask you this, Yurak, because I didn't see any actual video footage. I just see the still shots. Where did you see this on actual video footage, Urak? I mean, did you watch the news and see a camera pan across and they go, look, you saw it live? I'd like to see that.
Well, here's the thing. When it comes to that man on the roof.
I'd like to see the video, live video.
When it comes to the man on the roof, you never know.
Yeah.
Hello?
When it comes to the man on the roof, okay, he could have been just a guy
on a roof.
Right.
That again doesn't explain.
I mean, you know, you got a bomb going off.
Right.
You're gonna have people on the roof. There were many peoples on roofs when 9/11 happened.
Right.
Everybody was on their freaking roof.
Right.
You know, my sister was on the roof.
Well, that's another point too.
And so
if it's not
you never
Photoshop,
know.
it still doesn't mean the guy's doing anything but hanging out on his roof. Right.
Exactly.
And it would kind of make sense that during an event like the Boston Marathon, people would be watching from their roof.
I mean,
think about it. You live in an apartment up high. You're like, hey, I got a good view. I'm going to hang out up there, drink a few beers, watch the runners go by.
That's correct, Iraq. He could have been watching and looking at what was happening.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
He could have been looking.
It doesn't say conspiracy still.
No,
but see, there's a lot of factors like that.
Mystery man. What is that all about? Right away, everybody jumps to conclusions. Believe me, those bombers were a few blocks away. They didn't want to get the shrapnel. Whatever they did, they threw it in and they walked the hell away from there. And they were probably down the block, maybe, or somewhere
I don't think
around.
it happened that way. I think the thing was a timed mechanism that was put in there earlier and was set to go off when it did. I don't think the person that did it was anywhere around the area.
We watched too many movies. I don't think they were doing like the Joker did, where he stood behind and turned around and bombed the place. I don't think so.
But I think it was a timed mechanism.
I agree.
It was a timed
mechanism. They did say it may have used a cell phone of some type.
It was timed.
Yeah. I mean, look, you know, folks, we don't know who did it. We still have to have... you're right. I figured he was watching the race. Of course he was watching the race. And he probably, because it happened like right near the end of it, that's when everybody starts to come together. I believe that he waited for that moment of the winner and the people and the crowd rushing in. And all of a sudden, now's the time. And of course, he would be well hidden because there's all these people around him. And all he had to do was look like he was making a phone call.
Right.
You know, anything. Who the hell knows? But all those scenarios would make sense.
Well, whoever said that the bomber or bombers have to sit around and watch it happen?
That's correct.
They can set it up an hour and a half before, 4 hours before. He is.
Yeah. They probably do.
Hour and a half before, whatever, 5 hours before. That's my point, is why if the security was on the job like they're supposed to be in this climate we're in this day and age, they should have checked every garbage can. They should have checked every garbage can.
Anyway,
put on your damn gloves so you don't want to touch all the dirty, nasty shit that's thrown in there. Put on your gloves, fucking pull shit out.
Or get rid of the garbage can.
Look through the crowd.
Get rid of the freaking garbage cans. Everybody's running.
Because
everybody's running. Who the hell's going to be using a garbage can?
They don't want to clean up garbage afterward. There are drinks.
Because you know people give them
Gatorade and Powerade.
Water.
Okay, here's what you do for that. You put a garbage can near a police officer who's standing there doing shit.
You have him
watching the runners.
You have him look at it.
And you say, you have a big sign that says water bottles, empty water bottles. And you have them collected, and then maybe they can have some recycling going on.
There you go.
Kill two birds. Simple.
Kill two birds with one stone.
Exactly. Simple shit.
See, when we start having our road races here in Georgia, if Urban wins his district, Urban might implement that.
Why not? Case 1320. Welcome.
Welcome to the show. This is the Morning Roast. We do this.
I love
5 days a week, 8 to 11 a.m.
Racco.
Yes.
Welcome.
Case number 1320.
It's 8:49 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time.
Fanny.
In Macon, Georgia. It's 57 degrees outside of Macon, Georgia, with a high of 85 and a low of 61. There may be a chance of showers later.
I hope not. By the way, I have the press conference starting in an hour. She'll be here. I don't know why she's coming early, but she is.
Oh, you're going to have a press conference while our show's going on?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, okay, that'll be exciting.
Well, I was going to
We'll get
take
into
her
that in the
outside.
second hour. We'll get that in the second hour.
Should I do it in here?
It's up to you, but we'll finish this hour off with the Boston Marathon Massacre. And then what we'll do is we'll go into the second hour with our news about Irvin, our news about what's going on today at City Hall. Go back to some local
unless
news.
you want to do it in here.
It's up to you. We'll decide it on break. It's up to you, man. It's your spot. It's your house.
That way the people can see it over there.
But it's 8:50. Chatters, what do they say? What are the chatters saying about the what we're talking about here?
Oh, they're saying a lot. And of course, the bottom line is this kind of stuff happens around the world. Correct. Every day. And the news channels, shit, man, this chatter thing goes up. Yeah. And the news channels don't cover it 24 hours a day. It's a tragedy, but we need to stop putting it on TV for days at a time. All of this, all it does is give people who did this what they wanted.
You're right.
To spread fear.
Give them fear.
Very good, Case.
And also influence the viewer too. They're helpless and stuff. Because as I said, as a person who worked in the media for over 15 years, basically something like this is always going to catch the headlines. Like they always say, if it bleeds, it leads.
But the thing about it is,
kind of like what I said.
It's a catch-22 because in a way you have to address it. You don't want everybody then to be accused, all the media to be accused of not staying on top of the important matters and issues. And let's face it, terrorism is an important matter and issue.
Yeah.
You can't ignore it, right?
No.
So in a way they have to show it, but then you're right, they kind of overdo it because we're in a day and age of 24-hour news networks.
Yes.
And it's way too much because everybody's trying to beat everybody else to the story and get the scoop. And it's all money based.
It's too bad they don't do that here in Macon. Nobody gives a shit.
No,
you have to beg the press to come here.
They try to, but it just, you know.
One other point I want to make. When 9/11 happened, and it was insanity that I was so depressed. I lost 40 pounds within 2 weeks. But I myself kept playing the bombing over and over. You know why? Because it was available on TV over and over and over. Finally, so help me God, on my mother's grave, my wife was banging the freaking door. Get out of that room. You're going to go crazy. Because she knew that I cannot help.
Chris Payne in the house.
But to continue to watch that video. People actually can get caught up in that.
Right. Well, I have, and I want to go back and watch it because I haven't ever since it happened. I have all the first day, not all, but 2 videotapes full of 9/11. He sees this. I have 2 videotapes full of 9/11 footage the day it happened off of different news outlets because I never forget when it happened. My parents were out of town, not visiting. They were on vacation, and I was staying and watching their house, and I was there with my girlfriend at the time. And when I found out it happened from my brother's call, the coffee guy's call, I went down there and I just threw in blank videotapes in the VCR and just recorded, hit record, set it on like the 8 or 12 hour setting and just recorded and had all the footage from, about, I'd say somewhere around 10 a.m. to, about 5 or so, 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and then put another tape in and just record it. And I still have those videotapes. I've yet to ever go back and look at them again, but it was very interesting to pull that stuff out and watch those videotapes, of the actual footage from these news outlets on that day at 9/11, right after it happened, and just like everybody's expertise and all that crap. So, and you're at that stuff that I could maybe go back and you can point stuff out to me. Because again, that's video footage the day of. So they say.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
that's the interesting thing about the media in a way. It's kind of good that they do it, but it's overkill too. We know that. But I know exactly what would happen. If they didn't do that, then you would have your people complaining. Well, they just don't find it that important. What's up, Payne?
Hey, buddy.
They just don't find it that important to tell us about this very important matter. They just decide they're not going to tell us about it. The news is just keeping it from us. That's exactly what you would hear if they didn't do it. So what do? I guess you just shove it down their throat. Come on, Chris, get in here.
Come on, sit in here. You're going to take
Slide
over
on
for me
down.
while I do my press conference.
Let's slide on down. Let's see what Chris Payne's got.
The pain is
Payne
here.
got
The pain, the
pain.
pain,
got a
the pain.
hangover.
I wish
Payne got
wish
a
had
hangover.
wish had that Method Man song, "Bring the Pain."
Yeah, I mean,
Every time he comes on,
Yeah.
play.
well, it's like
You
it's
can
like
probably put that
this.
shit. Okay, you got it. All right, Payne. This is Chris Payne. For all you newcomers, he's one of our regular stand-in hosts and guests.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when people start blowing shit up, I start drinking. I don't know what it is.
Wow.
What the hell?
Man, you need to put disclaimers
needs,
on that one,
needs
man.
8 disclaimers.
That's Vorpal Bite.
That's Robo Bite.
All
I'm
right.
glad I already ate. I want Lisa's already digested. I don't have to throw it up, but my
So
goodness,
that's where
man.
George Lucas got Jabba the Hutt from.
No.
Yeah, you're right, Happy Fanny. This attack could have been caused by anyone for any political reason.
All right, Chris. So you say when this happens, you
It
start
could even
drinking.
be an Obama hater.
Who's calling this?
You
Yeah,
start
I just
drinking.
happened to turn on the news right when it happened. You know.
So
I was like, great again.
I know it's kind of early, Chris, but and what is your early assumption? Or do you not want to
Al-Qaeda.
make one? So you do think it's Al Qaeda?
Oh, yeah.
You don't think it's domestic?
Oh man, no.
So you agree with Vorpal Bite?
Look, these people, they don't work on the fast food mentality that Americans do.
Right.
They will wait a whole decade to hit you.
Right.
And they don't care. I mean, this shit happens over there to them every day. Every day. If it isn't a suicide bomber, it's a Hellfire missile.
That's right.
I mean, and then we act shocked when it happens here one time.
Right.
And
Right.
this shit, this is what's going to be thrown away if we keep
I agree.
meddling in the affairs of it. I mean, we cannot not expect it.
Right. Well, we've said that. We all agree that. We all
So
agree.
We all
terrorism's
agree
not
this
going.
goes on every day,
And it's
Chris.
going to go on forever.
And
until the end of time.
we make like, oh, look at us. But meanwhile, this shit is happening everywhere, every single day.
Yeah.
And we don't make such a big deal out of it.
Yeah,
But you
People
know,
don't make a big deal until it happens.
It's
to their
not
neck of the woods.
24/7 coverage.
right.
So
By the
Bookie
way, I
said-
have that
It's
same
a
hat.
basic footnote, and maybe something happened somewhere over there. Bunch of kids died. Oh well.
Yeah.
Saibuki says Chris for president.
Yeah.
Gamer Girl seconds that.
Yes, the book says "Oh feckin' K," and he wonders why I call him Spiv when he wears that hat in.
Rocco, welcome.
Hey, it's the new hat now.
Rocco,
It's the new hat.
Rocco says this group reminds me of my nursing home buddies. I love it.
What was the name of that? What was the name of that book that Hitler put out?
Mein
Mein
Kampf.
Huh, yeah.
Mein Kampf.
German for
You
my
could go.
struggle.
Who was
Yeah.
that?
How do you
Kampf.
spell that?
K-A-K-A-M-P-F.
A dryer, really?
P-F.
I'm in the market.
M as in Mary?
F as in
Kampf. Kampf. There you go.
Anyway, so Chris, how you been?
I've been doing pretty good, man. I've been kind of sick lately, but
Really?
Yeah, you better.
You know I have that same hat, right? I was gonna wear it this
I
morning.
bought this hat yesterday, as a matter of
Did
fact.
you?
Look at this. Look at this.
It's got the
Look,
inside,
look at that.
absolutely.
Look at that now. Hey,
Where'd you
y'all
get
don't,
it?
y'all don't know nothing about this vintage period.
Well, when we go on break, I'm gonna put mine
Did you get it
on.
from the hat shop in the mall? Where'd you get it?
Nah, man. Actually, I got a little.
Speaking
honey
of
hole
break, we got 2 minutes.
downtown. He always gets good vintage
Cool.
stuff, and I check him out every
Cool.
week.
Yeah.
Cool.
I
Couldn't
looked.
let it go.
I actually looked out and got this cap here over at Foot Locker back in around 90 or early 97.
Yeah.
This back
Coming
up.
in handy now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anthony
the
got
hottest
his
one.
when he was born. He's
Yeah,
got a-
I got mine when I
he's
started
got a
losing my
skull
hair
cap
around
on.
30.
Yeah, well, yeah, me too.
30.
I mean,
Yeah, I was losing my hair pretty young.
I couldn't
I
have
started
too
losing my hair.
much bald on here.
I
you
knew-
know what
yeah,
mean?
I knew my-
back to back bald guys.
I knew some dudes that was
Look at
in
that.
their
Wait a minute.
20s,
Let's all
man.
take
Early
off our hats for a minute and show our bald head, except for you.
Except for Derek. Derek's got a full head of fro.
At least
Raw
right.
ball.
At least right now.
Look at all that hair. Look at that.
DB.
Give me some of that.
DB.
Could you imagine I
Dent
get a hair
Baldies.
transplant
Huh?
and they use your hair? What do you think of that?
Happy Fanny, we're broadcasting in Macon, Georgia. Literally the heart of Georgia.
The heart of Georgia.
We are in
center
Macon,
of
in the heart
Georgia,
of the hood.
which is a kind of another catch-22 kind of place. It's got great things about it.
Yeah.
It's got great architecture. It's got massive potential, but it's run by a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, crazy politics.
It has been going
crime.
through, got a lot of commercial, financial coronaries right now.
Very. It's a place that we love, but we also love to hate.
You were looking down a little bit, and this looked like it was in your mouth.
It's Macon, Georgia. We're at, what are we at, guys? Our population, 98,000 or so? What's
It's close to a little over. It's actually gotten up to
120,000.
That's not 120. No way. Is it?
No. Including city and county.
We're not consolidated yet.
Okay. It's around 90ish.
Shit, you could have 10,000 people move before consolidation.
About like 96,000 people.
That's right.
Well, this city used to be 150,000. It's now. It was dying for a few years. I think it's picking back up. I met a lot of people when we were at Roasted that are all new to the town, and I just moved here.
Side Boogie says there goes the Macon sales pitch again. Come to Macon.
We are featured, guys. We are featured.
Side Boogie is harsh, but he tells the truth about 95% of the time.
Yeah.
He's right.
But we got good things going on, like the movies.
Yeah, we got movies coming in a lot. You know, wherever you are, Fanny, you know, the #1 movie in the nation, a lot of it filmed right here in Macon, Georgia.
Yes, indeed.
So, number 42.
Number 42. In case you didn't know, it was the #1
broke
movie.
Some records.
It was the 27th.
First sports movie to do that.
Yes.
That's another record.
That's a record, yes. It's the highest grossing opening for a baseball film.
I thought it was sports, period.
Well, sports period.
Iraq.
Yeah.
Take
because
that,
remember Bull
Philly
Durham?
Dreams.
Yeah.
Iraq's got the number.
What's the number?
And I'll take it. 156,433 July 2011 numbers.
It can't still be that. There's no.
Please, it's probably more than.
No,
a lot of people are moving in.
Are you talking consolidated or not?
He's talking about Bibb County.
With consolidation.
Well, we're not talking consolidation. We're not consolidated yet, Irvin. Shit, a wacky terrorist can come blow up something before November here in this town, and you lose about 40,000. No, you could.
I hate getting technical.
You can't count your chickens before they hatch. You learn that. Come on now.
Well,
we are not consolidated yet.
Right now, we have an incubation.
We got about 98,000 right now. 100,000
in the city
alone. I just heard recently that speaking of 42, that Jackie Robinson's brother,
he's going to look up
Matt Robinson, basically, he came in second place behind Jesse Owens in the 1936 Berlin Games.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Crazy. Did not know that.
Yes.
I wonder if they'll give him a movie down the line.
I don't know. People don't get movies when you go second place.
That's not true. That's not true.
They usually don't.
I mean, Seidel. Seidel, was it Seidel who got kind of famous off of the Matt Damon poker movie because they kept showing over and over the what's his name beating him.
Yeah.
Remember? And then Seidel was the guy he beat, and then now because of what was the Matt Damon poker movie?
It was
one word. The hell was that movie? You know what I'm talking about?
Poker.
No, it was
break time.
Well, let's get this. So one of the chatters are going to say it.
All right, they're saying Iraq says 91,856.
Thank you, Iraq. I knew the city wasn't that
whatever.
Big. Whatever. There's the liberal for you. Whatever. I was wrong, so I got to say whatever. Who cares?
As far as I'm concerned, this city is consolidated. I don't care what.
Rounders. Thank you, Raccoonus.
Rounders.
Rounders. You know that because of that scene, he was made famous. Seidel got second place against Chan, I believe, and Matt Damon kept playing that footage over and over. So no, second place gets
Jackie
a lot.
Yeah. No, what was his name?
Other Chan.
Yeah. Welcome, Bunny TV.
Had the apple.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Rounders, thank you. Winner, chicken dinner movie. Let's go to break, Ed says.
Yes.
Yes, it's going on 9:04. You're watching the Morning Roast live from the Nut House.
Thank you, Vaughn Live, for putting this in top
Macon,
spot.
Georgia. It's 57 degrees outside with a high of 85 and a low of 61. We'll be right back.
Yeah, baby.
I see the big picture. Within less than a year, our product line will be global. Our finances, finally in order. Our team, tighter than ever. Give me some, man. All right, solid. Security of our product line cannot be penetrated.
Look, Steve, I'm tired of hearing about this damn security, okay?
Medina.
I mean, that's all you talk about is security.
Yeah,
I'm tired of talking about
You're
that.
always raining on my parade.
The word on the street is that they're selling our chips bootleg on the corner.
Nobody's bootlegging anything anymore, Medina.
Yes, they are. And I have my
You and your damn bootleg again.
You would just hush sometimes and listen.
You like music when you were a kid, but you think everybody's bootlegging everything.
See, that's
around
your problem.
here.
You think you know everything.
I do know everything, Medina.
Will you just
Bootleg.
shut up sometime and listen?
Nobody's bootlegging
I mean, you're getting on my damn nerves.
I don't care if I'm getting on your nerves, Medina. I don't care at all. Nobody's bootlegging anything.
Okay, let's not lose our heads here, okay? Come on, now, let's settle down, let's clear our heads so we can figure out what the hell's going on.
All I can say, anyone that interferes with our plan is going to get the living shit kicked out of them.
Well, in case if that situation ever happens, well, we have something to challenge that obstacle. Ivano, if you will. Got these instruments here from the guys from Biosoft helping us out. Right here's a ZK5. One shot from this. Here you go, Medina. One shot from this will give extreme paralyzing seizure. Right here is the M50. They can knock a person down before you even hit the ground. Hey. Be careful with that. It's not a pea shooter. This T7, small but deadly. Only use this on someone you really, really hate. Okay, but be careful. Don't use it at close range because it will leave a really, really big mess. This is the zapper.
Everybody ready? Coming out first! We got Psycho!
Oh.
Come on, Chris, goddamn! Oh, you stupid motherfucker. Think about that shit next time, won't you? Coming out next, #1 contender, we got Side Effect!
Let me preface this real quick. Hey, I just want to preface this. This is a amateur wrestling video of gentleman Aaron Cross, who passed away last week while trying to swim across the Okoboji River. They finally found his body after about 4 days, and this is a video of him.
What's up? I don't need entrance music. I'm loud enough.
Give me your water, idiot.
I want a good fucking match. God damn it, boy. Fuck you. God damn it, boy. Fuck this motherfucker. I want a good fucking match. I want to see some dumb shit. Let's get it on. Come on, man. Do it. Oh, my nuts. What we got? Come on, now. You tap? You gonna tap? You gonna tap? God damn, you stink. Take a bath before you go get your ass whooped. Oh, shit. Hey. Hey. Take it easy. Oh, shit. Hey. Single line, smiling out on me. Let's go. Come on now. Yeah. Lead, motherfucker. Nut shot. Nigga leaking. There you go. Come on. Yeah. I'm waiting on that good. That was sweet right there. There you go. That's how you kick. Every time you kick, that's how you kick. Hurry up, put every damn trick there. I hate my life. Fucking twat rifle. Come on, kid. Get crazy, boy. Let's go, Psycho.
There's no silliness in it.
Get the cage! Oh, open! You got it open! You got to use the latch! Come on!
Move the tire, dumbass!
Hit it with the tire. You got to use the latch! Come on! I'm waiting for you! Yeah! 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 You just leak. Put him in the cage! You're the number one contender, boy!
Good boy! Boy!
You can't do this against me! You can't do this against me! There we go, come on! You might want to take that on somebody! Get up now! You can't do it! Aaron was scared! Aaron was scared! Come on, man! I got a rider! It's a cage now!
Let me get this pussy out of here.
Oh my God! You don't get no help in the ring, motherfucker. Talking about help.
Remains today.
Two tables up. Where's the light bulb there?
They go.
DB, we're here. Okay, thank you. This
is the guy that died, I heard.
Sean?
That's all right. So it's our guest. It's all right. Sit down. It's just wings.
Go to G Beach for 40.
What's up? Here's our guest.
Harry Underwood.
Don't ever put that memo on my back.
Okay,
That's Chris Payne. This is our producer, Ed Advinder.
Oh shit. Are you tired? Hand him here, Doug.
We're playing. You know Aaron Towns that died in the river last?
Oh shit.
All right, now y'all can
You know the rules. Get the fuck out of the way.
eat chocolate instead of this shit.
Wow.
Nobody's saying about breaking back yet.
Well, my boy said that, huh?
Oh, shit. Whoa.
Hello?
One, two, three.
Come on, man.
And you're winner.
No, it's over.
Did he win?
He pinned him.
God
crying, nigga. There's no crying in baseball.
I'm not crying, please.
You ready, Ed?
There's another match.
This guy in his Ferrari just pulls up in a handicapped zone. No handicap markers on the car. The guy did not look handicapped. There's plenty of parking spots. I'm gonna see how he likes me pissing near his Ferrari. Ugh, dude, it's a joke. It's water. It's a water bottle. I'm not even peeing. Dude, easy. Don't touch me. Dude, don't touch me. You're in a handicap spot.
I call the police?
You're in a handicap.
How can it's a Ferrari?
That doesn't matter. Dude, don't stop.
The sound is kind of delayed. So
All right, we're back.
We are back. It's 9:15 a.m. We're into the second hour of the morning roast.
Welcome.
Live at the Nut House, where we have our guest,
Harry Underwood.
Harry Underwood.
Yes. For a minute there, I bet people said, what happened to Ant? He's been rubbing against Derek too long. No. Chris is off camera. This is our guest. Thanks for coming, buddy. By the way,
Anyway.
Harry, we're going to let you know, this show is not politically correct.
Right.
You're going to hear a lot of crap. You might think, what the hell? But that's just us.
That's just how it is.
That's just how it is. But we appreciate you coming. We love our
Thank
guests.
you, thank you, Harry. I know you've been a busy guy. Harry's part of which university again?
I go to Middle Georgia State College, the Macon campus. Although I live in Warner Robins, so it's like 30 minutes up, 30 minutes back, like almost every day of the week. So.
Okay. Well, give us a little bit of a background.
As far as my education.
No callers
as far as
now,
what
please.
you do, and as far as what you stand for.
Well, I'm the president of the Middle Georgia State College Gay Straight Alliance. I started in 2009, but I became president in last fall of 2012. And I also do what we've done. We've gone to conferences, like one at Georgia Southern University in Statesboro. It's like my first time going out there too. It was awesome. All these people coming from all over like the United States to Georgia Southern University.
So what year did you start this?
Well, I didn't start it. It was
what year did you join?
I joined, I believe it was like spring 2011.
2011. And who started it and when? Do you know?
I don't know who exactly started it, but we had we had past presidents like Amy Renner and Amanda Studebaker. Amanda, she's now a student over at California State University at Bakersfield. And when she was president, she went with Georgia Equality, which is a pro-LGBT or lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender lobbying group and political advocacy group based in Atlanta to go up to Atlanta and speak on behalf of a bill that would prevent if it were passed, if it ever had the possibility of passing, it would prohibit discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation against state government workers.
Right.
And of course, it was that time that they had Amanda and M. Elliott from Georgia Equality, who I'm also a friend with. They were speaking in favor of it, and then on the opposite side, you had someone from Concerned Women of America, which is like a Phyllis Schlafly type organization that's talking about how homosexuals are like baby eaters, pretty much.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then so the Republican dominated committee that had that bill. They essentially killed it in committee before it ever got the chance to.
Because I asked when it began because I was curious knowing this area, and this area's been behind on the times. It's never been too friendly towards its gays.
I know.
I mean, look what happened to Little Richard when he was here.
Well, not only that,
he had to hide
if you
out.
saw the bar where we were at Grand Sound, and you had a lot of gay people in there, and you could tell they're getting all these looks and all that. But I want to bring up one of the most radically ignorant people that we have on here, which is Vorpalbite.
Right, the chatters are going to ask questions.
And we have chatted. He says, and look at how he puts it. Wow. Fags already have equal rights. They want additional rights. What do you say to that?
What I say is that one, he's coming from a position that is similar to say how when women say this is a sexist display because it's emphasizing certain.
I'm sorry. Why don't you speak up a little bit because
okay,
it's okay.
Yeah, but it's projectable.
Yeah, this mic picks up, but
yeah, kind of. Yeah, okay. Well, the issue that comes up is, and of course, he's talking from the perspective from the position of pseudonymity or anonymity.
Of course. That's these people are always really brave online. You know that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because cyberbullying.
He used a name like Vorpal.
I mean, because it all it takes. Because you got to be.
His name is probably Shlomo.
It doesn't take that much to like to talk trash and like I'm gonna kick your butt, Sam.
And not show your face.
Yeah,
we at least show our face. Yeah,
right.
We say shit. We show our face.
Well, but we do have chatters that show their face to us. But Vorpal is one of the ones that, you know, he doesn't want anybody to know who he is because he's a freaking coward and a
it could be
piece
a she.
of crap anyway.
It could be a she. But anyway, back to the serious issue. So basically, you were comparing it before the cutoff there. You were comparing it to the woman's. What were you saying about the women's equality issue, or did I misunderstand you there?
Well, it's related to equality. I was looking at how. You've heard? I don't know if anyone's heard of Tumblr.com. It's a site where people post blogs and.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Oh yeah.
Never been on there, but I've heard of it.
Yeah. Well, there's like this one blog called the Hawkeye Initiative.
Right.
The Hawkeye Initiative is is like a group of artists who basically they take images showing women on the covers or of comic books, for example.
Right.
And how they tend to
scantily clad. Is that what you're talking about? Bikinis, big boobs.
Yeah,
right.
and showing the butt for the camera,
right.
Showing the breast for the camera,
right.
And then this particular artist group, what they do, they take that and then they use it as a model and instead draw a male superhero character in the place of that woman character to show
in the same kind of getup.
Same kind of getup.
Okay.
Very scantily clad, very emphasizing of say this or what have you.
The bulge. Right.
On either side.
So how is that received? Do people go on there like this guy on our site and badmouth it? Well, call names. How is that taken on that side?
Well, that's why one of the reactions that does come up because it elicits a number of reactions. One of them, of course, is men saying, "Well, women think that they have it so hard. What about men? We get objectified all the time and everything with our big muscles and everything else. Women, they don't have it worse than men when it comes to that and everything. It's not sexist."
Do you know Craig Hamilton, the comic book artist? I bring him up. He's a local guy, well known. Worked in the business for years. Worked for DC. Gay man, and he is one of the first that I know of.
Right.
And he was doing this back in the 80s, early 90s, late 80s. That was drawing superheroes, male superheroes, with those.
Same.
Those. Because before in comic books, in the old days especially, Batman was flat right here.
Right.
Superman was flat. This is all flat. And Craig would draw some of his early stuff, Spider-Man with an obvious cod piece going on through his, and he would do a lot of stuff. And he's a great artist, great comic book artist, probably one of the best, period, in my opinion. But the thing about it, I just was curious if you knew him because he's been what you just told us about on Tumblr. It's he's been doing that for a while. He's been drawing his superheroes, showing the way a real male physique is. He does the same with the women. He draws the women.
Yeah.
But anyway, so interesting. So let us know what kind of problems you've had personally, not online.
Right.
Because I'm sure doing this at the college you guys are doing this at, in Georgia, the South, East, and we are still behind the times, whether you want to admit it or not. What are the problems your group and you personally have encountered since you've been involved?
Well, we have we've gone to I work with Edric Floyd, who's the president of PFLAG Macon. PFLAG, of course, is Parents, Friends, and Family Lesbians and Gays support for people who do have children or other members of their family or colleagues who happen to be LGBT. Me and Edric, we both went up to Villa Rica to protest at this in front of this church. I don't know if
we like protesters on here.
Yes.
All right. Go ahead.
Awesome. Sorry. And so basically what this church was hosting was called the Exodus International Organization, and what they hosted was this conference on ex-gay therapy or reparative therapy, talking about how you can change your sexual orientation back to heterosexual or straight.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, and because it's like they have this sort of hang up about like sexuality in general, and it's like, well, if you marry a woman and everything, then yeah, you should, or like you go through this therapy, and then you and it's like the effects are pretty, you know, dubious and whatnot and everything, but and so what happens then was I mean we were protesting and someone sorry about that.
Throw you off. Go ahead, man. Like I said, it's a pretty free-flowing show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's all these hateful comments that are coming. No. Listen.
But let him finish, then we'll go to him.
Let me finish. Let me finish my point for a second. We'll let him talk. There's a lot of hateful people on our show. Okay? So a lot of the chat that's coming down right now, I don't even want to read. I'm going to just let it fly. But I want to tell you right now, it's proof of what we're saying.
Of course.
They're about 25 years behind, and most of these people are not even from here. Okay?
So the war, yeah.
Exactly.
Go
ahead.
And
so what kind of? I'd ask you what kind of problems you guys had encountered and gals had encountered doing what you do. This group you were part of at this college.
Well, we as
you went to a protest. You were saying.
Yeah, we were at a protest, and so someone like passed by like in a truck, and then he screamed "fag," and then he ran off in the other direction and everything, and it was like and of course it was like we all heard that, and a few of them were like yeah, and it was like middle finger and everything else and stuff, but it was like
But does that really offend you, that word, at this point? I mean, and you can give your honest thing, because this show a lot of times is about tough skin.
Right.
I preach forever that words only hurt you if you allow them to hurt you.
That's right.
These two kind of disagree with me, though. We've debated this, that there is power in words, and I agree there is power in words. I just think that you also let it affect you the way you let it affect you. You laugh it off, you brush it off.
Yes.
Are you personally at this point in 2013 offended by that name, by word fag? I mean, really?
The word fag.
I mean, does it really at this point, or do you just want to say to these people, come up with something more clever? You know, I mean, almost. It's almost kind of like, but does that really offend you now? Or have you been? How old are you, may I ask?
Oh, I'm 26 actually.
26. Okay, so I guess you've learned to have. And when did you come out, may I ask?
I came out like I believe it was around about like 2008, 2009, and everything.
Okay.
And it was
so like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
4 or 5
So you're about 21 when you came out. Okay, and you've had to deal with a lot of that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
From not only friends, but outsiders, but friends.
Well,
possibly.
It was
or family.
That was actually interesting because when I was at school one time, and I was in the same class with this one guy who was like very Tea Party about Obama, you know, being a communist and so on. And so it was like it's like we had the most interesting discussions and everything because he sat right behind me in class.
Right.
And then what happened, like after class and everything, I mean, we were still talking about politics. We were still talking about religion and so on. And I mean, the thing is, he's also ex-military, so of course that kind of comes with the territory. And then what happened was that he, like me and Charles, like Charles, this one guy named Charles, who's like. Who used to be president of this other group called the AITS, which is like a group for information technology students. Right. We were like we were still like talking and debating and everything. And then the guy who was like, I forgot how it led into that. But then the guy who was like all pro Tea Party, he started.
Could the guest speak a little louder, please?
Yes. Okay. The guy who was pro Tea Party. He was saying he asked all of us because he asked that if I believed in God, and I said no, and he said, oh, you're atheist then, and I'm like yeah, and I said, and then what happened was then he said, oh, are you gay too? Because I said I did mention something about about how religion impacts LGBT issues, and I said, yeah. And he said, oh, you're going to hell then. Okay. And then it's like he...
Very forgiving religion there.
I guess you ran into Volpobite.
But yeah, see, it's kind of hard being like a big double, triple negative, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
I'm an atheist anarchist, so I get shit too. I'm not gay, but you know, I get the crap all the time also, which is fine. I stand by an A. I got an A tattooed on me, so hey.
Yeah, like
well, it takes a lot of courage to do what he's doing.
Yeah, be like,
and he's more of a man than Volpobite. horrible by it. At least he puts his face out there.
Christians are homophobic. Yeah, Muslims really.
Yes.
So what?
Yeah, he's more of a man than Vorpalbite could ever be.
So what is your take on the recent gay issues that have been in the news?
Such as like the
marriage,
discrimination.
What's your feeling about it in the case of even Hollywood? Let's say. I mean, just in general. I mean, not that Hollywood doesn't accept gays; they do, but still, I mean, it's kind of it's kind of, and the word of the day, I guess, is double-edged sword. I've already said this phrase 5 times.
Yeah.
But it's almost sort of like, there is, believe it or not, still a stigma in Hollywood as well.
Yeah.
Where they want to out the gay actor or actress, almost like stuff the Inquirer does.
Pigeonhole them.
Yes, exactly.
The NFL.
Yes.
The NFL.
Yes, the NFL. I mean, in entertainment in general, because in a way Hollywood tries to act like it's all pro-liberal, it's pro-gay.
Yeah,
we'll put out Brokeback Mountain, we'll put out The Crying Game, we'll put out all these gay movies.
Yeah.
But then when they start prying into the so-called straight actor's life, everybody sees this leading man type, and wait, he's gay, and then it becomes almost kind of like a witch hunt. It sort of does. So just in general, tackle all that in one.
See that with Anderson Cooper.
Yes,
maybe,
Anderson Cooper.
And Don Lemon.
People constantly try to claim George Clooney's gay. They want to make sure that he comes out. They're just waiting for that story.
I do find.
But what do you think of all that? All the gay points with entertainment, sports, with marriage, with all that. What is your? And I think we know your take, but go for it.
Okay. Well, entertainment. That's something that I mean, I was just reading something yesterday about like the New Kid on the Block member Jonathan Knight coming out, and then he said,
did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
when did that happen?
For New Kids on the Block?
New Kids on the Block.
When was that released? How many days ago?
Well,
we didn't even do that.
I'm sorry, who?
He says one of the new kids came out of the closet.
Yeah.
New Kids on the Block. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And what happened was that. Yeah, and he. I know.
Isn't he the guy with the hair plugs?
He's the one with the brother. The two Knight brothers in the group. He's
Jonathan and George.
And
Lance Bass was NSYNC.
Yes. Yeah, Lance Bass also came out years ago too and everything.
Well, I knew Lance Bass came out. That we knew.
Right.
I didn't hear about the.
Well, I knew Lance Bass came out when he didn't come out.
Right.
I mean, I'm able to tell.
But the issue with that was that he wrote like in this interview, or like upon this interview, that people had and they were talking about his sexual orientation, and he said he hates someone like Perez Hilton, who like tried to out him years back.
Isn't he gay? Isn't Hilton gay?
Yes.
I don't follow this guy.
Yeah.
I don't follow him. Can't stand him. What I've heard of him, but I didn't know he was gay or not.
Well, I think he's a universal a-hole.
There are a lot of
even if he was straight.
I'm just a local a-hole.
I know.
Actually, like since that.
But he got to answer the question. We're going to pull him away from this question.
What's the question?
We can pull him away. He's trying to do a good job, and we're grabbing other things.
Yeah.
We were talking about Hollywood entertainment. We were talking about the marriage issue, the gay marriage issue.
And let him ask a question too.
Well, I know. Now let him go with those answers you guys ask.
Okay. Well, let's go. I will go to the marriage issue, because that's of course the centerpiece right now of LGBT rights advocacy for like the longest time and everything, dating back in the 1970s. And
do me one favor, buddy.
Yes.
Look at the camera as much as you can. We have one viewer who's deaf. She reads lips.
Okay.
But that's good. Thank you.
All right.
Just look at us, but look at the camera too.
Okay. All right. Well, marriage has been, especially given that it's now before the Supreme Court right now, and the decision will not be out until maybe mid-June or whatnot, regarding both the cases over California Proposition 8, which is a constitutional. It was a referendum that in 2008 that passed a ban on further performances of same-sex marriage in the state of California, which came as like a very big blow. It was like very it was for a lot of LGBT people, because in like the state where people like Harvey Milk, the first notable LGBT politician to serve like in the state of California and be elected to a municipal office, even though he was not exactly the first, and also places
was
like
California or New York?
No, it was California.
Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
I think he was actually from New York.
Yeah, he was a New Yorker, but in
California. And he, with the places like the Castro, West Hollywood, and other areas that were identified even back in the 70s with LGBT or large LGBT contingencies or constituencies. That came as a big blow for them. So whatever decision does happen before the Supreme Court regarding that, which is the case is known as Hollingsworth versus Perry right now, and it's gone through several other names, that will ultimately determine, at least on the west coast of the United States, the recognition or performance of same-sex marriage and the legality thereof, or at least whether referenda that can ban same-sex marriage in states like California are constitutional, or if they violate the due process clause of the 13th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States. So there's this other case that's also before the Supreme Court called United States versus Windsor. It's about this 83-year-old woman who's a widow to someone in New York who she married a few years ago, and I believe it was her name was Edith Windsor. Her deceased spouse was Thea Spire, and what happened was that when Spire died, Windsor was left with like a huge amount of taxes that she had to pay simply because federal income tax does not cover same-sex couples and also property tax, inheritance tax, etc. So she took the state to court over DOMA, and then it became a federal issue where an appeals court ruled in her favor. So now that's before the Supreme Court, where the House Republicans, because the Obama administration has opted not to defend the Defense of Marriage Act. So and the House Republicans are instead going to defend it with a lot of congressional money and whatnot in order to dedicate towards the defense of that that act that was passed back in 1996 and signed into law, unfortunately, by Bill Clinton, who was in order to appease the Republican majority, the new resurgent Republican revolution of the 90s.
Okay.
So do you
one
think...
of the chat has asked, how have you been treated in Macon?
How have I been treated in Macon?
And are you from New Jersey?
Oh, I don't have an accent.
Gamer Girl asked.
Okay.
She's from New Jersey.
Oh, well, actually, I've never been to New Jersey. I would like to go. I would like to go to New York, too, because I know, speaking of New Jersey, there's this one person I want to meet there named Dr. Louis Crew. He's a professor emeritus of English from Rutgers University. He's retired. But he used to teach over at Fort Valley State University back when it was a college back in the 70s. It was during that time while he was at Fort Valley that he came out as an openly gay man, an openly gay Episcopalian Christian person, and started this organization called Integrity USA, which is a caucus for LGBT members of the Episcopalian Church. He used to live in Fort Valley, and he's basically the cause for why our local main newspaper, the Macon Telegraph, mentioned the word homosexuality for the first time back around that in that year in the 1970s.
Oh wow, didn't know that.
Yeah, so he's actually on Facebook and has videos on YouTube, and he's in his 80s now. But he's in a civil union with an African American man who's from Warner Robins apparently, and they live they're living like a nice to do life and in retirement in this particular township in New Jersey. But I talked to him on the phone a while back, and I found him to be very interesting because he sent me a DVD that we're going to show next week at our LGBT conference on Tuesday, the April 23rd, called "Not That Kind of Christian," and he's one of the people who's interviewed in that, talking about the intersection between LGBT identity and their identity as their religious identification.
Yeah.
So he lives in New Jersey, and I would like to personally meet him, like maybe go up there sometime to New Jersey, but hopefully after they pass marriage equality, because I mean they have civil unions, but the governor is like, I don't want to do marriage yet and everything, even though like there's a Democratic majority in both houses of the legislature, and they want to pass a marriage bill and everything.
Sure.
Yeah, there's a question that Donnie Curry asked, says, if you got all the benefits that a heterosexual couple, I do mean everything, but have to call it something different, would that be acceptable?
The only reason why that would be in any way acceptable is if there is enough pushback at that time that against the idea of marriage, that the only feasible option electorally or politically would be civil unions or worse, domestic partnerships at maybe a state or a worse municipal level. But marriage, the reason why marriage is so important, specifically civil marriage, is that marriage that is recognized by the state, maybe not by any particular church or denomination of church, but by the state, is because not just because of of equality and benefits and so on, but also because when the libertarian argument that religion, or the conservative argument as well, the conservative libertarian argument that marriage is a religious institution, is a religious institution, that is not true because even in Europe, where Christianity, American Christianity derives much of its influence and everything, as well, of course, in addition to other things coming from Europe, the idea of marriage was confined to like state, to how the state treated individuals. Of course, there was religious intersections where only Catholics could marry Catholics, Protestants could marry Protestants, Jews could marry Jews, and the state, say in France, I believe it was the Justice Minister of France, Christiane Taubira, mentioned that in her speech back in January before the National Assembly in Paris. She said that the state, the French royal state, would not recognize marriages of Protestants or marriages of Jews because they were minorities in France, and ultimately there was also the issue of how women and children were treated as property, and so inheritance became an issue. How the state would treat inheritance. If a state decided not to recognize a particular relationship, they could take that land from them. So there was a significant secular involvement in the definition of marriage, even from the very beginning of like the idea of marriage as an institution of society. And I mean, when it was starting to develop in Europe back in, especially in the Middle Ages, if not earlier. So that's what I find most interesting regarding that argument that religion has the biggest role to play in the recognition of marriage, because a lot of LGBT people, their relationships are already soured by how religions have or religious leaders, people who speak on the basis of religion and everything in public space or public in public fora and so on, how they have spoken against LGBT people on a consistent basis, how literature has spoken
against
LGBT
we know religions are hypocrites. Come on. We got to admit, even the religious on the panel have to admit that a lot of religions are hypocritical as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just the way it goes, in my opinion. But so naturally, you personally want the full gay rights when it comes to marriage.
Yes.
I think basically that's what he's asking.
I guess
Donnie's basically saying,
yes, well,
are you willing to settle for not calling it marriage, but getting those rights?
Okay, I was just about to ask you that question. What are at least, I guess right now existing, I guess on a governmental or at least on a legal standpoint, the difference between a marriage and a civil union?
Right now, the federal government does not recognize any sort of union between same-sex couples. Period. The only thing the only sort of leeway that they've given right now is say through organizations such as the Department of Defense. The Department of Defense has basically at least early this year granted to same-sex couples or partners certain benefits that are not expressly prohibited by the Defense of Marriage Act. For example, base clearance, participation in functions on military bases that may involve like a partner or like as partner status, but that's it. There's not that much leeway that's allowed by the Defense of Marriage Act in regards to any recognition of any sort of same gender union. We don't even recognize the federal government does not even recognize unregistered cohabitation. I mean, if one could talk about that as well. And of course, I'm assuming that you all have heard of unregistered cohabitation. It's where the barest minimum is like a lower scale than say domestic partnership. Like domestic partnership is lower and lesser than a civil union, right. and civil unions as opposed to or vis-a-vis marriage. So that's what is really facing LGBT people right now: taxes, tax equality, immigration equality, the employment equality, both state and private sector. Right. The treatment thereof by not just like a wide variety of organizations throughout, and I mean that's what is the most pressing issue, that when people are not married and they live in the same apartment together, they have to go through like twice the sort of crap that straight couples, especially those who are married, do not necessarily have to go through in right. in the same sort of breadth of issues that would face a couple, especially not just like throughout their lifetimes, but then when one of the partners dies, then that's like, okay, I gotta pay all this and everything that in terms of inheritance taxes or property taxes or whatnot, tax benefits. You have to do a lot more even after one of your partners is dead when it comes to property, to taxes, and wills.
Well, I was just about to ask you that. I mean, like, say your partner passes away. Are there some way that the person who may be or soon to be deceased, is there some type of a legal loophole that he or she could possibly put in the will that would be a beneficiary to the surviving partner? Or insurance.
I think there's like more extra paperwork that one has to fill out, and to make sure that say a lawyer, even like for, when the person is on is in the hospital and everything, you have to like afford power of attorney in order to and an attorney period in order to make sure that can I mention too?
Go ahead.
There was an incident that just happened in Missouri where this I believe, I don't know if it was in Independence or Kansas City. It was around, I think it was around Kansas City actually. This guy, his partner was sick in the hospital, and he was with him. But then like the family of the patient came in, and then they wanted to kick his partner out, and they asked the nurse and the police to go ahead and escort him out, and then the partner said no, and so then they put and so they got.
And what was the reason? Did they say for kicking him out? Wanting to kick him out?
The hospital, they gave, the family probably had their own reasons that they decided not to disclose, right. But the hospital gave a whole bunch of excuses such as, he was being belligerent and everything, and plus he did not have power of attorney, even though he did in fact have power of attorney. And then they said, well, he didn't prove it before a nurse, even though he had like come to that same hospital and to that system before, so that would have been in the system. Or on their documentation, but they simply decided not to give it any credence or recognition, and hence they simply like pulled him out in handcuffs and banned him from the hospital.
I have to look into that story. I heard nothing about that before.
Yeah, and
so let me ask you this: but doesn't a will basically already do that anyway?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can't you just leave all your stuff to anybody you want to in a will, and not have to say it's your partner? You could just say it's a friend. You know what I mean? I'm saying as far as a loophole, if people wanted to really give all of their belongings to somebody.
Which you still have to
Couldn't that be written in the will?
Possible.
Well, tax
It's
reasons I
possible.
understand.
But
I'm talking
Seafluke
about,
says a will can't direct government benefits.
Well, that
I think that's
part.
that's
part.
that
So,
one.
so that's what's
obstacle.
getting clear. You more so are trying to fight. Your group and you are fighting for the government benefit side of the will, not so much the hey, he can get all my money in my account. Hey, he can get my belongings. He can get my property, my house. That's already covered in a will, regardless, right? Whether you're gay, straight, or whatever, because you can just leave it to whoever you want to.
Right.
You don't have to in the will say my lover, Bob Jones. You know, if you're a guy.
Yeah.
But so the government benefits.
The government
is still not recognized.
Still not
none of them are.
Yeah,
Are there any that are, or none of them are?
They're not. At the state level, yes. At the federal level, no.
Okay.
So when like any piecemeal sort of overtures that the federal government may be possible to make is only primarily on the cognizance of the executive branch.
Right.
But that's it. This does not. I mean, beyond like executive orders or orders by secretaries and whatnot of the departments within the cabinet, they can't really do much more or probably any more without legislative or judicial intervention, where the judicial would either say that DOMA is unconstitutional, or the legislature passes a law that would repeal DOMA and instead replace it with something that would start to recognize at least a wide variety of marriages, and then let the of course what even Obama was saying, like, oh, well, let's let the states decide, when federal, which is kind of an erroneous argument itself, because when the Supreme Court ruled in 1967 in Loving versus Virginia that marriage is a civil right as well, that cannot be abrogated on the basis of the color or the ethnicity of the partners.
Okay, good. So now we do this on our show. Anytime we have a guest, we ask the guest, because we like to cover the full spectrum of the person. We don't let them get away with just talking about the easy candy, cutting stuff, cookie cutting stuff, candy cutting. What are the problems you see within the gay community? I want you to call out things that irk you about the gay community. Anything. Just what are the problems, and then also
beyond just marriage.
Just in general. I want you to look inside yourself. We always ask every guest in here, and we say, what regrets do you have, if any?
Okay.
Naturally, most of our guests are a lot older than you. We have politicians on and stuff, and people, and we ask them that question. But we always ask everybody on here to basically look inside themselves, give things that maybe that they would have changed about themselves in any aspect, and then also just to sort of pinpoint problems within what you're representing and what you're basically giving to the people. So, what do you see as some of the problems in the gay community?
Well,
personal or otherwise.
Personal or otherwise. For example, health. Of course, health is a big issue, and it's not just like AIDS, HIV anymore. And because that's never been like an exclusively gay disease and everything. That's impacted like a wide swath of people in Africa, China, India. But then there's also now this issue about meningitis. That
I hadn't heard of it. So is this spreading wildly through the gay community? I heard about the outbreak we had recently.
Yeah, it was in LA and New York City.
I remember the local one we had talked about on this show. There was a local one, but so you're telling me now there's some information that they're connecting it to the gay community.
Well,
primarily,
the city government of New York City and the city government of, say, West Hollywood in California. They've been putting out like advisories to get oneself checked for meningitis, especially if one's been to like any big gatherings where that have a lot of people cramped into a particular space, because they've had like a very big outbreak in New York City, especially like within gay nightclubs, and how that would. I'm not particularly familiar with the spread of the disease, except I know it's like in the brain.
It affects the brain.
It affects the brain, and one guy, he had to be taken off life support just the weekend in West Hollywood because it was like a fast spreading meningitis infection that they had, and everything. It was like just here today, and everything kind of gone.
And in the gay community, because if we're talking around the globe, then I want you to go more into. I see what you're saying as far as I guess what you're saying is that you think the gay community as a whole should be more health conscious, look after themselves better.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
That's
one of the
true.
main problems running within that community.
First of all, they make more money. They know how to have a budget. They know how to have relationships. Now you and I talk. Wait a minute. Let me finish.
There's cases of all.
God, man. Let me finish my point before you cut me off.
No, go ahead.
Oh, thank you.
But I just want to reply.
I know you don't agree with me, but we can get to that.
They all know how to decorate houses.
The only problem that I believe they have that I find strange because they're good at communication and communication skills is really with each other. Unless it's for a cause.
Right.
Unless it's for a cause. They're not really friendly with each other. They're not. I'm sorry. I've seen it. I'm 50 years old. They're going on 51.
Well, that goes back.
And every time I have been in the gay community, I felt isolated. I felt discriminated against by them because I was either too short,
Well, they start getting
or because I looked straight.
judging the book by the
I
cover.
wasn't going like this
Right.
and being all queer about it.
but
I was a straight son of a bitch who happened to be gay.
Right, but that's my point. Then it kind of goes against what you just said that I was about to argue with.
Okay.
You. That you say they know how to run relationships. Well, obviously they don't.
No, with each other, with each other.
I mean,
I mean, they know how to have relationships with each other.
I don't know now. I think there's just as many problems in gay relationships as well. I know for a fact. I mean, I'm not a gay man, but I've been around gay people since '83 when I started doing theater. Big gay scene. Okay, my wife Heather was what you would call back in the day a fag hag. All her best friends were gay guys. Okay, so I'd spent plenty of years going out with her the first time, going to gay bars all over. I was the straight guy that would go to gay. I've been to Backstreet in Atlanta when that was around. I've been to the Cove. I've been to all the gay bars around here. You know, I was the straight guy that was always really open about.
Right.
I don't care who you sleep with.
Yeah, I don't care.
Respect everybody. I was never homophobic. Never had a problem with gay people.
Right.
And like I said, plenty of friends in our lives, my wife's lives and mine, that died of AIDS, sitting there visiting in the hospital. Mutual friends, people we were roommates with back in '93. I've been around all the gay people, know a lot of them.
All right, hurry up.
Well,
What's
my
your
point is you can't say that gay people have better relationships. I've witnessed
I
plenty
know
of
that.
bad
We've already
relationships.
established that. What I was saying was not what you're saying. What I'm saying is gay people within themselves have a good relationship. Now, wait. Vorbabite. You are absolutely right on that point. When you say,
If it feels good, you just do it.
when you say, hold on. It's gays. If it feels good, just do it. I've experienced that.
Straights like that
during
too.
the time when I was
Heterosexuals
out
like
there.
that too.
That's pretty much a
Wait a
universal.
minute. When I was out there, I used to go, this is like a room full of whores. Everybody's trying to get everybody.
Us straight people do
no,
that
no.
too sometimes.
Not as, you know.
Yes, we
look,
do.
You get 1,000 gay men in that room. Somebody's going to be hitting on somebody else's boyfriend or some other shit going down. Next thing you have bitch fights.
And that happens with a bunch of
doesn't
That's a
happen
whole other
in
kettle
your
of fish
normal
right
bar.
there.
That happens with a lot of jocks and preppy
whatever.
frat boys.
It
They're
doesn't
always hitting on
happen
each
in bars
It
all the
happens with
time.
straight people, preps, jocks, frat boys. It
Whatever.
does. They hit on other guys' girlfriend. It does.
Listen,
happen.
I'm trying to
It
keep
happens.
things real,
Well,
okay?
you might be
Because
right.
what's important
But it happens
is
with straights,
what my
too.
perspective was back in the days of
Well,
Stonewall.
there's cattiness going on, right? We know there's
There was
cattiness.
no tact.
A lot of gay guys like to act like what they call divas,
Right.
We know that. You know, with a diva comes your cattiness.
Sure.
We've been around them all. That's true. But believe me, that's why I don't necessarily think, and I support gays in all ways.
Right.
But I just don't think gays are a stereotype for a more perfect example of a
Right,
relationship.
of course
Yeah,
not.
of
But
course.
they're almost perfect in finances.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
they
maybe,
know
maybe.
how to do finance.
And like
They're
like,
obsessed
like
with
Chris
it.
said, designers, interior
Right,
designers,
right,
they are good at stuff
right,
like that. They
right.
have an eye for a lot of art, from
Yeah, and
drawing,
and if
being
they get
artists.
committed,
seem to dress well. Well,
And
except
if
for
they-
that, except for Carson Greeley one time who was on Oprah, which I don't know why he had like this green jacket and this pink and white, you
Yeah.
know,
but
plaid shirt, which looked like
Right.
he was wearing a picnic tablecloth.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, well, wait a minute. Let's be fair here. You had that guy that was betting all those women in England. That dirty old man that died.
Bruce
What the
Ibuki?
hell is his name? No.
Oh.
That dirty old man
the
that died.
children's host, kids host.
The guy that was on the kids show
I
and
thought
he had
he
the
was
big
a
big
pedophile.
nose.
Oh, the BBC host, Jerry Seville.
Seville.
Yes.
But he wasn't betting women. Was
No, he was betting women and kids,
Oh, I thought-
little
okay.
girls and all
Yeah,
that shit.
and so he basically was
Anyway,
abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's freaky.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there are guys in the gay community that
Of
are
course,
like that.
of course.
Okay?
Of course.
And let's face it, folks, in no...
Well, that's why Nambla
right.
exists.
And so there are guys in that generation that are gay that dress like that. That dress. There are straight guys and gay guys that dress flamboyantly. Is
Yeah,
my
but that's
point.
a big difference between being flamboyant and just being straight up tacky. I mean, green and red and white. That's
Well, one thing I know...
I think there's tacky jacket. I think I think there's.
Well, what
tacky,
about his jacket?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think
That's
there's
about
tacky.
as gay as it gets,
I
kid.
think there's tacky in all genders and in all relationships.
Sure.
I don't think you can say one type is more tacky than the
I
other.
mean, he looks pretty male and very nicely
Well, yeah, but
dressed.
we should get beyond
He's not
that.
walking around.
But that's
in a
my point.
fashion
That's my
shirt.
point behind race and color in general. We should get beyond that. We are in
Right.
2013. We should get beyond
Exactly.
whether somebody's straight or gay by how they dress. Who
Exactly.
Cares?
Thank
Who
you.
cares?
agree.
You know,
Thank
I
you.
could be the most straight heterosexual guy in the world, like I did, and wear
I
a pink,
dress
and wear a pink
flamboyantly.
jacket
Yeah.
on a certain occasion, which I did.
Yeah.
It didn't make me question my sexuality.
Exactly.
I knew why I wore the pink
Especially in that pink jacket.
Because
Right.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish.
Elephants.
He's talking.
Okay.
Our guest is talking.
Well, I think it's less about ultimately. Given that I'm like a comfortable with like it with any wearing anything pretty much. That it's not really then about sexual orientation or sexuality, but about gender and gender identity and gender binaries. And that's another thing actually I wanted to mention as a your question earlier question about problems that I see in like LGBT
Right.
like demographics. If, for example, transgender individuals and it's a segment that they often encounter, because while there have been these advances for like for anti-discrimination laws that protect on the basis of sexual orientation, gender identity is another issue. Even though the two issues have pretty much, especially since Stonewall, have been kind of intersected together because of how whether you were gay but cisgender or transgender but heterosexually
A drag queen, basically.
No,
Yeah.
Like because there are, believe it or not, there are straight people
Well,
that do drag.
I always tell you
there
about
are
that.
cases where there's straight people that do drag and
Yeah.
make good money.
But
at it,
it's
and that's why they
freedom.
do it.
We're
It's
having a
freedom
drag
of
show.
choice.
Right.
Freedom of choice.
Right. Of
Remember
course.
that point, right?
Right.
You agree with me?
And
And now I'm going to hit you with this one.
Okay.
Freedom of choice.
Right.
And then you have this guy saying this. Vorpalbite.
Does your guest play Dungeons and
I
Dragons?
hate that this thing continues to move because by the time I get to it, who the hell knows where it is?
Can I mention?
All right, he says, would you trust a 3-year-old with a faggot?
Yeah, let me kind of.
Okay, that's a hard one to stomach because Vorpalbite, not all gay people are pedophiles.
Exactly.
Like you fat slob.
Exactly. And there's heterosexual people that will molest little kids.
Absolutely.
through the years.
And it's more straight guys than gay guys that do it, you moron. Because when it comes to the popularity, there are less gay people than there are so-called normal freaking a-holes like you.
Right.
So
Jerry Sandusky, I think.
But we take the valuable and not valuable questions on this show.
that's a stupid question. I'm not
We
going to
will
even
take them
ask.
all, but I want to go back to what you were saying.
Okay.
That's
I just
fine
want to
to
make
throw that
sure he understands.
He knows. He sees
You're
it
gonna
over
get
here. He sees it over here. He sees it over here.
But you know what? I want to bring it up.
Right.
Okay?
But you're
And I
giving
want to put it
Vogelbach what
out
he
there.
wants. You have
Thank
to
you.
keep mentioning
Okay.
Vogelbach.
Go ahead.
It's like you worship Vogelbach more than Donnie Curry.
Because he is the hater,
But he's-
and that's what I want to. That's my part of the show. That's what I want
Submit
to do.
him
You
to the
understand?
submit him to the
exactly.
haters. Right. Well,
I want him to do that.
Is he the only
I
hater?
want him to face these morons
Right.
who are out there,
Right.
and you're yapping away about some shit, and
Urban.
I'm trying to
But is he
bring
the only
some
hater? Is he
drama
the,
to
is
this.
he the only hater?
Because there's drama.
But is he the only hater?
No.
Well, that's my point. Quit breaking up Vorbelbite. Bring the other haters up.
All right.
You're giving Vorbelbite what he wants.
Well.
He's trying to stir the pot so you'll bring him up.
Okay.
Go to the other haters, is my point.
Well, I found some questions.
Good point.
Because he's going to have more than one hater.
Well, give me a chance and I'll get there.
Well, you've already mentioned Vorbelbite 5 times. I'm thinking,
Give me a chance.
why are you pulling out Vorbelbite? We know Vorbelbite.
Because he's the only one that keeps writing, so he's very available.
Yes.
All right.
We got to hit break
If you
soon.
knew about the chatters, you would know that's
We
the
got to hit break
dynamic.
soon. We got to let our guests go soon because we got lots of other stuff in the next hour to talk about.
Yeah.
So let's sum up what you
Well, I
want to
didn't
say.
know our guest was going soon.
Well, he can stay, but we got to go on to our topics about you and the mayor yesterday.
Right.
We didn't do that. We got to
Okay.
go on that, and it's after the.
Good.
We got to do Wordsmith. We got to do Eat Your Words. We got to do Daily Bread.
Okay.
He can stick around. You can stay with us the whole time and chime in on these other topics.
Yeah, I think
But
it's
you don't have
okay.
to leave.
You can
I
sit
just-
over.
We just
You'll
have
just
to go.
sit over
we
there.
just, we
Anthony's
just have
gonna
to go.
jump here.
Well, I'll get Chris Payne here too. I want to get a 5-person show here.
Right.
But anyway,
It's all
back
good.
to it. He didn't get to finish that because we came in with the haters.
Mm-hmm.
Sum up as easy as you can. Not too. Don't talk too Don Curry-ish, which Don Curry's
A
the guy
lot
there
of it
that
is
goes on
religious.
forever.
A lot of it is
What-
religious.
What you were
understand?
saying? We didn't finish it all. What? So break it down for us. I know you want to say it in a certain way, but break it down shorter. What are the things you want to tell the gay community out there, your fellow brothers and sisters in this fight and battle, and what you believe in and what you are? What do you want to tell them to stop doing? I mean, what I want you to cut down to the chase. Don't go into all these cases and history and stuff. And we appreciate that too. You were able to do that, but break it down. What are your problems in the gay community quickly? Besides what you said, maybe they're not caring for their health like they need to be with the meningitis outbreaks and stuff like that. What else do you have to say to the community that you want them to do to better themselves? You know, that's y'all's goal, right?
Yeah.
The LGBT's goal is to make that community better themselves.
But that sounds
right?
so fake.
It's
What
not
the
fake.
the LGBT community wants
Right.
is equal right. That's
But
it.
but they
Plain
want
and
also,
simple.
But
They can give a shit how you treat
But
them.
no. It's the same. No, it's not. It's the same thing as you have a lot in the black community. You have a lot of black leaders going out to the black communities. Brothers, quit killing each other.
Absolutely.
They're like, this is one of the problems. Quit blaming it on the white man.
Right.
Quit taking your guns out, wearing your pants low, and
Very
shooting
good.
each other.
Very
I
good.
want him to pinpoint in the gay community what they are doing wrong to
Perfect.
each other.
Perfect.
I don't want him to keep saying it's the Republicans' fault or it's always the
Right.
straight man's fault.
Correct.
That's fine at times. That's true. But I want him to also admit fault within the group. And
Right.
That's what I'm trying to get at him without having to go like another hour on it.
All right, go.
That's my thing. We ask this to all of our guests on here to look within themselves and find their faults.
All right, go.
Okay. All right. What I would say, like, as far as like problems, and what I hope will be like the better future for LGBT people is to one, and this applies to also people who are yet to come out of the closet. Look at yourself, be honest, and think. What if the way that I've been taught before about sexual orientation or sexuality does not fit me? It does not fit my my experience, not just my experiences, but also what I feel to be like and based upon my experiences with sexual orientation or sexuality. What fits me more as an individual? Be honest about your individuality. That's one thing I would say. If you are like if you identify as straight, but you realize that you might that you might have attraction to someone of the same gender, be honest. But also at least be honest first and foremost to yourself. And then not just be honest, but then recognize that there are people out there who, even if they may be liberal, religious, or humanist, or maybe LGBT, there are people who, just as much as those who may find fault with you and everything for whatever reason that they may have, there are people who do embrace you, who do say that being gay is okay, that your sexual orientation is not a fault but a trait, that it is not something that's supposed to be a death sentence, that you can live a healthy life and you can strive to a healthy life. Mm-hmm. If you are a lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender, without compromising your sexual orientation, without saying that that's a fault, you can embrace that, and you can find people who do embrace you as yourself, as an individual, but also be aware that you should return and reciprocate that same that same treatment and everything to other people. Abuse, let's not do abuse. Let's not abuse each other, and not just.
Is that common in the community? Is abuse common in relationships between a girl and a girl and a man and a man?
There's just
is there a lot of record of that?
I would say there's just as much likelihood and incident of domestic violence or abuse within same-sex relationships as there are in heterosexual relationships, and that's what one would want to fight against, even if one is for LGBT rights and everything. You would still want to work against poisonous or toxic relationships that with personalities that don't work for you, and also if you are not comfortable with a relationship, because I'm not in a relationship yet and everything, I maybe want to be in.
Have you ever been in one?
I've tried.
How long did it last?
Well, I know one person who lives here in Macon and everything. I like him because we both happen to be in the same fandom. We both happen to he used to go to school at Middle Georgia State too and everything. Right. And the only thing that's really kept us apart is my own cold feet about a relationship, but also about but he's a very nice individual. He said that he would like to he told me that he would like to be in a relationship with me, and I thought even today I would like to say, if he ever sees us again, that took a lot of guts, and that I would not mind continuing the relationship in the future. Right. It's just school or
you're busy. What you doing?
Busy with and what I hope and I hope that it's also each individual has their own pace when it comes to any relationship and everything.
Well, you should look who you're going to be with. You should do a little research. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got to do a little research. I mean, that goes with straight people. That's why to me the basic understanding is just let people be who they are, regardless. As long as they don't disrespect you, don't steal your stuff, don't cause harm to you and your family. Exactly. Let people be who they are. Yeah. It's just such an easy way to live.
You could always ignore them, which is what you do anyway.
I mean,
but the only time you ever even pay attention to them is when your brain is awake. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. If not, you just walk them by like anybody else. Right. So stop it. Yeah. And stop the hate.
All right, buddy. Give the day again. April 23rd meeting. Tell them.
April 22nd. Monday, April 22nd will be our drag show. It'll be from doors open at 6.
Where?
At the Middle Georgia State College Macon campus. HSS Theater or Arts Theater Complex. Right. It's near to the top of the hill on our campus, and we'll have 7 performers, including Ravion Starr.
Do you have a website, or do you have a place to go? You can tell our viewers if you want to comment or you want to get connected with him and give him ideas, whatever. Right. He's a student. Mm-hmm. He could always use some of the help.
Yes, we have.
Then where would they go?
They will go. We have a website which I still need to update a bit more. It's at blogs.maconstate.edu/GSA, and we have our what we do, our constitution, our history, past officers, and contact information if one wants to find out more. We also have a Facebook group and a Facebook page, and our page has over 200 likes and everything, and so from like all over the state and outside of the state too. And so people can look for Middle Georgia State College Gay Straight Alliance, and we have like right now an icon that says with like our logo that I designed and everything with the equal sign at the top. That's the HRC's like marriage equality logo in red and white, and then we also so people can come there for like for news syndication regarding like LGBT issues both here locally and nationally and internationally, and then on the 23rd on the Tuesday afterward we're having an LGBT awareness conference, and we're looking for panelists actually.
That's what I wanted you to mention.
Okay, awesome.
Tell them a little bit about it.
Hurry up, we got to go break. We got to go break.
Okay.
We got to cut it down. I just wanted to give that out there, let people go.
Very brief.
Okay, very brief. It'll be a conference where we're having two panels. One is talking about when did you come out straight, and the second one will be the intersection between religion and LGBT identity. And we want to have panelists. We know we have at least M. Elliott from Georgia Equality coming down to be on the panel talking about it. And then we're going to show two movies. One is Prayers for Bobby, starring Sigourney Weaver as a mother of a son who's struggling with his sexual orientation. And that was a Lifetime movie from 2006. Right. And then the other one will be Not That Kind of Christian, talking about the intersection between religion and LGBT identity, especially for Christians, and starring Dr. Louis Crew, who's a teacher over at Fort Valley State University or College, and several other members of the Episcopalian Church who've given interviews about that issue. So,
good deal. I got one last question.
We're selling T-shirts for $10
cool.
too.
Just to kind of lighten the mood a little bit. Did you catch a lot of hell in your name when you were younger? Harry Underwood, and when you came out?
I caught more.
Oh, you're not going to go there.
It's fine. He's a good guy. I caught shit about my name.
Oh,
Anthony Harris. The Harry part.
Yeah,
But did you catch shit about
That's how you want to end this.
Yeah, because it's fun.
You were bum rushing me out, and now you want to end it with that disgusting shit.
That's worse than Ben Dover.
No, it's not. This guy's got
I swear to you, but I love you, baby. That's what the show is about.
I think you just invent new ways to get people to cuss you out in public or something.
Okay, do you understand what they're talking about?
You probably caught shit over that.
My first name is like has this like, oh, is your name Henry? Is it Harold? Or is it Harry and the Hendersons? Or
You son of a bitch.
Well, the morning roast talks about it. We don't
I love you.
Love you, buddy.
Hey,
Stick around.
Thank you. Stick around.
Stick
You're
around.
in that comfortable chair.
Thanks for being
Thank
able
you for being
Thanks
here.
for having
Thank
the
you.
balls to show your face and talk about what you did on
I love this kid.
Yes.
He's
So
good.
at least you get to show your face.
It's 10:17 a.m. Right here on the morning roast. It's 60. Wow, it's getting really hot. It's 64 degrees outside in Macon. It's sunny with a high of 85 and a low of 61.
Are we going on
We'll
break?
be right back on a break.
What the hell? I love
Short break.
A very short break.
And then we'll bring Chris back on. I'll get on the chair. You can stay, man. Unless you
I got some wing ding dingers for you.
Well, for our celebration, to show that I'm not all business.
And the thing is, I think I should have gone for the marriage thing because it's like, well, I did say about about how religion has such a role for
Well, now that Biosoft is making history, why don't us make a little history of our own?
To Florida, where a Port Canaveral police sergeant has been fired for owning shooting targets that are meant to resemble slain teenager Trayvon Martin. Martin was the teen who was shot and killed last year by neighborhood watch volunteer George Zimmerman. CNN affiliate WESH reports Sergeant Ron King brought the targets to a gun range earlier this month and then offered them to other officers.
He offered one of our other officers a target that was the profile of Trayvon Martin. The officer rejected that and told him to, that he should put those back in his car and shouldn't even possess something like that.
Fired Officer Ron King went on YouTube to defend himself. He says the Martin targets were a no-shoot training aid.
And the target was something that I viewed as an example of a no-shoot situation. While others have used it as a novelty, I view it as a tool for scenario-based firearms training. Although to date, the targets have never been used, I did possess the targets for those training reasons.
The police department calls King's behavior unacceptable.
Mother who tried to sell her children to an Arkansas woman. Sallisaw police say Misty Van Horn wanted money to bail her boyfriend out of jail after unsuccessfully going door to door to raise the money. She turned to Facebook. Investigators say Van Horn tried to sell one of her kids to a woman in Fort Smith. A detective says at first she asked for $1,000 for her 2-year-old, then later offered both children for $4,000. Both children have since been taken into state custody and Van Horn arrested.
Would it be better for me to get on Irvin's side? Doesn't matter for the camera.
I don't have time to.
You gotta pull it back.
I got videos to take care of, man. Now, I do whatever you gotta do, man. Now I'm stuck with nothing.
Pull the camera back.
Holy shit. Yeah. Is everything in place? You weren't supposed to relieve me. I know, but I felt like taking a shift. You like him, don't you? You like watching him. Don't be ridiculous. We're gonna kill him. You understand that? Morpheus believes he is the one. Do you? It doesn't matter what I believe. You don't, do you? Did you hear that?
After this, you can cram it up your ass.
they want it off. Saying this video is 3 hours long. Let's come back.
This is so pure.
And we are back.
Yeah, baby.
Yes, the third hour of the morning roast. Can you smell
what
the roast is brewing?
You still could
Yes.
It looks great.
Here
I was
we
almost
go.
laughing at the camera.
Here we go. I know people want to hear me, want me to talk more. I'm talking more. It's 64 degrees outside in Macon, Georgia, with a high of 85 and a low of 61. There may be some showers, possibly, hopefully later in the evening.
It won't stop us from being out there at 5 o'clock.
Exactly. It's 10:27 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time in Macon, Georgia. We're here with our guest Harry, and also with Chris. Bring the pain.
Yeah, the pain.
This is a good looking set. See this?
Oh yeah. Want to thank?
We're doing good.
Yeah.
View who? View who? Who the hell's the View? You got it right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's all your shit ass toys that you brought here. That
Yeah.
I
I want to thank Ed for playing some excerpts of the movie Chip Factor that I was in.
Yeah, that was Derek in a movie.
Yes.
Being a ladies' man. That
Yes.
was real acting. He had to stretch. You notice Gamer Girl? He had to stretch. You see that orgasm face Derek made?
Gamer Girl's gonna take a photo of this.
Yes, thank you for the orgasm.
Thank
you.
you.
I appreciate it.
Make sure you put it on Facebook.
Yes, I was playing this womanizing mad scientist Dexter St. James, and I was.
He even sounded like a porn name.
Yeah.
Dexter St. James. Oh, what the hell is that?
Hey, isn't he the guy that did the Bible?
No, that was kind of like a play on
Dexter.
Eddie Murphy, the Caribbean guy, Dexter St. Jock from Raw.
Yeah. Harry Underwood's here with us. He just was on the last hour talking about the LGBT, and now he's going to stay on set with us and just talk about
bullshit.
anything. He's going to chime
Bullshit
in.
along
I told
with
him
us.
off camera to chime in on any of these topics he wants. We're going to go to about 11:15 because we started late.
Yeah.
All right.
Matter of fact, I do have a story.
Yeah,
I do have a story. It was basically from during our break, which was previously played for a while with Ed.
Yeah.
It says from CNN, the Florida police sergeant fired for possessing shooting targets resembling Trayvon Martin defended himself Sunday and said that the targets were meant to be used as training aids for no-shoot situations.
Right, you stupid ass. I'm going to believe that shit.
Sergeant Ron King was fired from his job as a firearms instructor for the Port Canaveral Police Department on Friday after an internal review determined he possessed the paper targets and offered them to fellow officers for use during a firearms training session earlier this month. It says when informed of the basic facts, they found that the entire situation was unacceptable. According to John Walsh, the interim chief executive of the Canaveral Port Authority, told reporters. It says, it's not the type of behavior that I want a police officer to have on both a personal and professional level.
Goodbye.
I find this conduct intolerable, and I demanded that the chief immediately start procedures to terminate this employee. So what do you think about this?
Wait a minute. Now, I'm not saying this wasn't the intent on this, but show me that picture again.
Yeah.
That's not the first time that target's been used. They've had targets.
Are you sure?
Yes, they've had targets like that.
Well, what about? Does it have the word Skittles? Wait a minute. Listen, did it have the word Skittles on it?
Yes, they did. This particular one that they did have a picture of a bag of Skittles and some can of iced tea on this side, on the
Exactly.
That explains
Which you don't
it.
see that.
I don't see it here. You're right, and I didn't hear the story.
I know.
You're right. So that does explain it. But if it didn't have the Skittles in the tea bag, that is not just something made since Trayvon Martin. I've seen a lot of
that look like that. You're right.
Of practice sites where SWAT teams are doing their
And
exercise,
and it flips out,
and they've had those already.
Yeah, but with
before
such a big head,
Doesn't
though.
have a gun.
That with such a big hoodie head.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that what the guy did
I
wasn't
think
racist.
they were like that, but they
I'm
were
not saying
normal
that.
heads.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that pattern is nothing new. That was out before Trayvon.
Of course, but I'm saying
someone added the
This is a hoodie. He was wearing a normal head.
No.
This is not a normal head. It's like a Martian
that's
head.
True. That's my point I'm making. Is they had hoodie silhouettes like that long before Trayvon Martin thing happened. I know they did.
Well, you know because you are in a gun range, so I'll take your word.
And I've
for
seen it on movies and documentaries too.
And unfortunately, I've seen it on news programs and other shows like Geraldo, where they actually had skinheads, where they actually had targets just like that with black people. Will actually even have some with a black person in a running position like that, which was so.
Well, that's just stupidity on the guy's part. He's going to add the Skittles to it, of course.
Anyway, it does have a bag of Skittles on it.
Ridiculous.
And, and he said that it was about not shooting somebody. You're shooting in a freaking piece of paper. When in that whole training exercise are you going to not shoot? It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's like a
That's what you're there for. You're there for me to shoot at. So how are you going to teach somebody not to shoot if you're standing there shooting at a target?
And specifically because that particular picture has like a target on it. And if that were a no shoot paper,
no target,
then there would be no target.
Exactly.
That would be one of the tests to make sure the officer didn't shoot.
Right.
Exactly.
But the thing about it is, let's face it, white people wear hoodies. All types wear hoodies. Mexicans wear hoodies.
Exactly.
So, but what that guy was doing was obviously.
Well, now, granted, there are places that they go to in training where it's a no-shoot situation where they break into the houses and do this. But that's not what that is. That target sits there like a lump. It doesn't do anything but sit there.
Well, like Harry said, it's got a target on it. It's got a target on it. So, it's telling you shoot.
Right for the heart.
Okay,
Darren,
thanks for that story.
You're welcome.
So you want to go into your little shtick, your MAD?
Yeah.
Or tell the audience what happened yesterday, because before the show, or before the show was over, you said you were about to go meet the mayor.
I was going to go meet the mayor, and all of a sudden the mayor's not available, and they had penciled me in last week, and that's a bald-faced lie. I affirmed it and confirmed it with the woman because I have hard of hearing.
Yes.
So I kept telling her, is it the 15th? Monday? Yes. I got you penciled in. And then I get there, and they have this, what I thought was his secretary, but in fact it's some woman that sits there who's been around too long and doesn't know anything. She reception who doesn't know anything. Meanwhile, she hangs out with the mayor's wife, so I know she knows. So once again, avoiding me, right? And I like this lady. She's very nice. But she's a liar. And then the mayor, I could feel him in that office. You know when you got a feeling like somebody's in that fucking room, excuse me. It's some vibe that's going out there. He was there, okay? And he was probably in there with... If Watkins was in there, Watkins would have walked out, but he would have given the mayor up. And so...
so basically, tell them the
I
reason,
could feel somebody was in there.
Tell them the reason why you think they're going to claim they penciled you in, and damn sure that they're lying about the day they penciled you in.
Well, the proof is in the pudding. I affirmed it, confirmed it. The only problem I did was... in all this, is not tell her, send me an email.
Yeah.
Confirming my appointment with you. And now you told me. And meanwhile, most of the time, I'm always emailing people. So it was just weird that I didn't think of it. But I was just glad I had an appointment because she did call me back. So I answered the phone and I was taken by surprise. And I'm like, okay, well, great. They're at least getting back to me. Now I'm going to give her a call today, once again, and try to make an appointment once again, because that lady that's sitting there like a lump, not knowing anything, couldn't even tell me, I'll make sure that she gets your message. She made it look like you get in touch with her.
Man,
you know what I mean?
That's how they operate in that building.
Yep.
It don't matter what the hell you're there for.
Right.
It doesn't matter. If you
Yeah.
want to pay
Thank
it,
you. Thank you
If
for
you want to pay
crystallizing that.
Yeah.
you're gonna have to wait at least an hour.
That is strange.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, see, and that's why I did
Fishing
what
in a Captain D's
that's
shrimp and
one of the
seafood platter.
reasons I did what I did to the mayor. Because I wasn't playing that game. Because I tried to get a meet with the mayor before all my protests happened.
Yeah.
3 times. They thought they were going to pull that shit with me because they've been pulling it with everybody else. We'll meet, never let anybody meet with them.
Me.
So that's why I said, you know what? I'm going to go to Cherry Blossom Kickoff Festival and I'm going to make the mayor talk to me right in front of me. and they should have just let me meet with the mayor before all this, and I would have probably never done what I did.
Right.
So don't play games with us, politicians in this town. Don't play games with us. You're working for the people. You're supposed to meet with
And
anybody.
that's what they forget.
You're supposed to meet with anybody that requests a meeting with you. Don't play these little jokes. Don't play these little sly little maneuvers.
We're not going to go away. That's the bottom line.
So.
And the more you avoid us,
Right.
the more I'll unavoid you.
Right.
I'm going to be in your face today.
Exactly.
Now, I've already got my haters, the Elaine Lucas
Well,
people.
everybody's got haters.
And all of a sudden, Elaine Lucas is, her
How do
little
you think she
minions.
feels?
Her little minions are coming after me now. Now, you got to remember, Paul Bronson is a supporter of Elaine Lucas.
Tell the audience, you got Rosalind.
I don't think so, man.
Oh, no, he is. I know that for
I
a
think
fact.
he tolerates.
I know all he
That's about
tolerates. But believe me, he plays both sides of the fence.
Oh yeah.
It's politics.
Very well. And
That's why I couldn't run for anything. 'Cause
No.
I can't stoop to that level.
you see, but I want to play both sides of the fence. But But wait a minute. But is he talking to them in real terms, like Elaine, cut the shit out? I don't think so. I don't think so. Or she wouldn't be doing what she's doing. Now, Paul Bronson is on Danny's side, so I don't know what it's like today. I don't have the pulse of the wheel.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Paul and Danny are.
Paul and Danny are like this, okay? And which is the reason why I put my support for Bronson.
Which makes me think, we're going to find out Paul Bronson is a pot smoker. Because if Danny and Paul are like, no, listen, I'm serious.
No,
is
I'm
somebody
not
trying
saying that,
No,
man.
but is somebody
No, I
trying
ain't
to
saying
dig up Paul
that.
Bronson? Because what do they say? You lay down with dogs.
I'm not going to go there right now.
Well, I think it's more of a political age.
Well, what if
range.
someone starts going after Paul Bronson and go, wait a minute, you're buddy with the guy who was caught with pot paraphernalia.
Exactly.
with
And they
the other
could do
guy.
that. Elaine
so is
would be the
Bronson
only
a pot smoker?
Elaine
And
would
it's-
be the
yeah.
only one.
So.
But Elaine's not going to go there with him because she personally likes the guy. And it's not that, backstabbing all the time. This is all about politics.
Well,
Elaine
she
Lucas
likes
is a
him
very,
because he ain't
she
running
could be
in
a
her
very
district.
nice lady.
Yeah, that's true. She doesn't
You know?
have to go against him.
she doesn't.
No,
Elaine
she's
likes
going
Bronson
against-
because it's not her competition.
Right, but
Yeah.
exactly. But she doesn't like me. So I'm not on
Well,
competition.
because you're loud and out there and you're badmouthing.
No.
I mean, shit,
Not-
you put 5,
not
6
only that, but
videos
I
out
confront
yesterday.
her.
Right, and you're,
I confront her.
and she's not gonna like it. I mean, imagine her face when you walk into city council today. I mean,
Oh.
you're signing up. I mean, the tension there's gonna
I
be
know.
wild today. Which
It's
I
gonna
love
be
it.
wild.
Because I'm not even going there. I'm going there. With my
Don't
own
even
top.
look at their faces.
No, well, I'm going there about the police precinct 3 records, but.
Well, it's going to be great. Anyway, the politics of what I call personal destruction is Elaine Lucas's
Oh, that's
DNA.
yeah.
That's how she does it.
It's the MO in making.
Exactly. She's making a big stink about this thing with Danny. Then she pushes it off to the minions, and all these people come out like roaches, and they're all defending her and beating the hell out of me and Facebook.
Well, but Urban, that's part of it. You're gonna
I
get
know
the
that,
brunt.
but I'm just saying.
Because
It's
you're
going to be just like the
That's
Shield
my
jumping on John
reality,
Cena
folks.
on Monday Night Raw last night, but that's all.
Because
So she doesn't have to do anything.
John Cena?
Yeah.
And we are still civil. She's still my friend on Facebook.
I know it's
But you're putting some harsh words out on videos. You're making videos yesterday and you're calling people out.
Oh, yeah.
That stuff gets floated around. She's gonna eventually hear about it.
Of course.
I mean,
And I'm
so
sure
you-
they have
So
already.
you can't expect her to necessarily be friendly with you.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, as a person, I love Elaine. As a politician, you suck. Okay, that's the bottom line.
Well, that's the
you
first
don't know
part.
how to
You
bring
decide to
people
call
together
yourself a politician.
except those that you accept. See, there's no humility in what you're doing.
See you later, Donnie
None.
Curry. Have a good day, Donnie.
Well, you see, the bar for politicians isn't really high nowadays.
Right. Well, that's true.
You just have a high school diploma or
thank you
GED,
for
you
reminding
pretty
me.
much just run for anything.
Including myself.
If
We're
you
all
can
crazy.
bullshit and look good while you're doing it.
Yeah, we're all crazy in one way or the other.
Can I mention?
But
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. The one time I talked to Elaine Lucas, like it was like a while back. I think it was when you may have been there actually. It was at City Hall. They had like the Bibb County Democratic meeting where Mike Burlon was speaking, the chairman of the Democratic Party, and I talked with her afterward and asked her about the possibility that which is kind of like far off right now and everything, that Macon or Bibb County, probably after consolidation most likely, would ever get a get a domestic partnership registry or at least benefits for at least for city or county residents. And
so you were going after those benefits? Is that?
Well, they asked.
Well, I asked.
She's gonna give us the reply of Elaine, I guess.
Yeah, she said that she would have to see if she can get enough people behind that before she makes any decision and everything. So it was like a wait and see sort of thing. And I thought, yes, given it's Macon and everything, that's probably the safest thing you can
That's
say.
ridiculous.
She's playing politics.
Well, not only politics, but she's throwing up Christianity in there because I know it has to do with that. Well, we have to see if we get supporters. I mean, you're not supporting, in other words. What you're going to do is go and look for support.
You're going to pass the buck.
Exactly. So that is the typical Elaine Lucas, okay? That's what we get in Macon. Some woman who still calls people heathens. I mean, come on.
Heathen's a good word.
She calls.
I like the word heathen. I do like the word heathen. I like the way it sounds.
Well,
but she separates people. She doesn't know how to unite them. She is a horrible politician. Period. Horrible.
She's got a following.
The only thing that you do is pass money around. That's it. Somehow you're able to make money, and somehow, especially in this town, with your 7 different 501s.
Go, Mr. Underwood.
Okay, but is she like a power broker? I live in Warner Robins, so we have like a city council there. That's it's rather interesting there too for a smaller town. But is she more like the power broker or the person who's like gonna is she like the person who will who would, in any sort of situation where it's like a sort of bill that may enter a bit of controversy of any sorts, will she be the one who like is able to kind of talk
No, she.
other
council members.
She's the one. She's the one.
She did all the talking.
She's the one that wants to put anything she loves through and then take credit for putting it in.
Right.
Well,
this is going to be now.
She's definitely that. She's going to let you know when she doesn't like something, and she's going to let you know when she put something. It was her idea.
Yeah.
She's that type of person. She
will. By the way, could you write all this down for me? I'm going to put it on Facebook.
Right.
I'm going to put it on my site. And I'm going to put it right, of course. And I'm going to put it right on her wall.
Okay. Well, I was going to, I did say I had some other stories.
Well, let's not get the story yet. We had anything to say about this? I mean, Derek,
talk about this.
You're going to be there tonight, right? You're going to be there at 5 o'clock, the rally, and then 6 o'clock, city council?
If I can get my camera.
You don't need the camera. We just want you there. I mean, if you got the camera, bring that too. Okay. But the thing about it, we want you there. But the thing about it is what is your take on politics? We don't ever hear it much, Derek, from you.
The thing is, it's going to. There's going to be every politics from the national level to the local level is going to be dirty in some type of form of fashion, and it seems like a broken. It's just a broken record to me.
Would you believe Elaine
It's
Lucas?
just a broken record.
Isn't it typical of her?
Look, I've known about her ever since I was a teenager. I mean, she's basically been in the public eye for over 25 years. I mean, she's been in politics since when I was in high school. And that was like,
so she's like in her 40s or 50s, right?
Yeah, at least in her 50s. I mean, back when I was, because I was a teenager back when me and my friends used to do like these talent shows, and she was like among the people who, I guess one of the judges.
The Lucases are a big political family.
Big political family.
It's not just her. There's
not only the political. I mean, their son was a football player. I mean, they were in the sports scene too.
Yeah, and died in the arena.
So they're like a family that kind of gets around and everything.
Yeah, they have a large following.
Yeah, they're like the Black Kennedys.
Her husband David's been doing it for what, 30-something years?
Yeah, 35 years in politics.
David
Lucas.
Yeah.
Her husband. He just recently defeated Marion Paris, who was a guest on our show a while back, to get the state senate 26.
Well, I'll tell you how vicious Elaine is.
She was. At one time, she was the president of city council. She isn't anymore.
Yeah.
She isn't anymore.
And I'll tell you how vicious she could be. Okay, her husband. Her husband, David Lucas, was married to another woman, and Elaine had an affair with him and took him away from that other woman. That's how mean-spirited that woman is.
Well,
she got her boy.
Maybe she's just a go-getter.
I know.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's just.
Yeah,
she's just trying to live out the Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah, she's trying to do Tyler Perry before Tyler Perry.
Yeah,
man. Exactly. But that woman is a wild, buck wild woman. Believe me. And she talks about God and calls people heathen and all that. Meanwhile, she would have been stoned.
Lucas, I'm a wild,
she would have been buried like Mount Vesuvius with stones. Had she been around during the time of the Bible?
Well,
you wench.
Or in Iran. You would see that right now in Iran. She was going to tell you the truth.
Oh, well, Iran. Oh gosh. But it's kind of like maybe in defense of like of what you mentioned, everything.
Don't defend her.
Well,
there's nothing to defend.
We don't tell our guests what to do.
I'm just kidding.
Go ahead.
If what you say is true and everything, I'm most likely pretty sure that she's going to dispute it and everything.
Well, he's not saying anything against you, Miss Lucas, and you've already screwed him over. You already didn't do anything.
No,
for
Harry.
him.
Okay. Well, I would say though that at least. You mentioned that's all that, and I would wonder if that's like there's the politics behind it, the power play, because I was reading about this one movie about I probably shouldn't mention that movie and everything because it's even controversial back in the 30s.
Go mention it. We love movies on here.
Yeah. Well, essentially, it was basically talking about women and how or spouses, women who came from from nothing or a background of poverty, and then because it's like they gradually become get more into the space of if not political and economic power and everything. And it's like the only way that they're able to do that, at least in the 30s at the time, and everything is now much more diverse. It is through, of course, through not marriage, but simply men
sleeping your way up. Is that what you say? Sleeping with people to get your way power? Is that what you're getting at, or more
like men wanting to sleep with the woman and everything,
right.
Where they're like, I love this woman and everything, and so they give her gifts and everything, and
right.
and it was controversial for its time. But the thing is that from the perspective of economics and sexuality, I would not necessarily object, except only when it comes to the issue of honesty. Because honesty matters and everything. Where in a relationship and in being able to self-disclose rather than say, oh well, let me just hide from this. I don't know what may have transpired that result from that and everything, but I wouldn't necessarily put it say that it's a totally bad thing and everything. Probably playing devil's advocate.
So your experience with her was okay, positive.
Yeah,
well, you've only seen her.
You compare for where we are.
Right, yeah, but she denied you that, right?
I understand and everything.
Yeah, that was all her being sweet and kind and nice and very cordial or whatever.
Yeah.
And then getting no results out of her, really. The only thing she's doing is giving spiel. Okay? Right. And making you feel good.
Again, this is the Irvin opinion.
And it's all kind of...
A lot of people agree with her. on this one.
On this one, all right.
Not on everything, on this one.
But, and also, to make another point, she doesn't want you to be uncomfortable because she knows if she makes you uncomfortable and you're in college, you just may talk it up. She doesn't know you well enough. So it's all about her. In the end, it's all about her.
Yeah.
Chris Payne, what you got? What you got
I'm
about
gonna
local
go grab my coffee.
Bringing the pain.
Payne, what you got about local politics?
Oh, local politics?
Yeah, you've been known to talk about this.
Well, I mean,
throw something in there, brother.
Yeah, throw in.
It's just, it just seems like y'all brought up most of the valid points there.
Yeah.
People keep voting the same people.
Thank you. No, that's not a point that was made.
It's the same people, and they're wondering why the problems don't go away. Because you keep voting the same. And apparently, after about 20 or so years, you might get the damn point.
Well, they're assuming that the people who voted would die off.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like the Cuba situation. I got pissed off over this whole Jay-Z thing because, damn, they need to let everybody get, man, just open up.
Fuck yeah, I want to go to Cuba.
After 50 fucking years, guess what? It's not going to work.
And Heather and I are going to Cuba before we die. You better damn believe it.
Yeah, I know.
And if we have to go fly to Jamaica and then go from Jamaica, that's the way we're going to do it.
That's what I want.
Or if we got to fly from the Bahamas,
chill.
we're going to fly from the Bahamas.
That's all it is.
Yeah. I'm going to fucking Cuba.
It's your boys from
I won't be
I'll send you guys pictures back.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I've already had Cuban cigars before.
The fucking president can get a Cuban cigar. Why can't I?
I've had them before, man. I've had it.
I know a fella. Okay, but they're too damn expensive, man.
Yeah, no. My uncle used to bring them back when he lived in Ireland. He would bring them back from Ireland and never get caught with them. This is way back.
Yeah, and
so
I want a cheap good cigar.
Yeah, that's
go ahead, Harry. What you got?
The reason why like the embargo or that blockade has has gone on for so long is because you have a lot of Cuban Americans who live who either came came as exiles from Cuba, or they fled for economic reasons or other issues because Cuba happens to also be a very poor country.
Yes.
That just simply kind of stands by the dictatorship, or at least the majority of the people stand by the dictatorship of the Castro family. Because, and of course, it's likely that it's going to go to another person who's not a Castro.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's still a communist country.
But they are broken people.
Right, but
we have broken the people of that country with this embargo. They are
for 50 plus years
essentially stuck in a time warp.
Right. Yeah,
and
that's a good point.
They can't get rid of this guy simply because
so smart.
They look up to him because he's not the one that's fucking them up. It's us.
Yeah.
And our embargo and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And if we give these people some of our culture, if we give them a taste, after riding around in a 1940 Buick that's been turned into a boat or something.
Yeah, I used to see some of those.
These are some ingenious people.
Right.
Now, if we give them a fucking iPhone, it's over, man. Yeah. It's over. Give them some Twitter.
I hear from
Give them some damn Twitter, man. They tweet that bastard right out of there.
Well, the problem when it comes to to the freedom of speech in Cuba, though, is that for bloggers who are dissidents in Cuba, like say Yoani Sanchez, who's she only was allowed by the Cuban government to come for the first time, or get a visa to go out of the country, for the first time only this or last month.
How old is she?
I believe she's in her 40s,
right.
but her husband is a lawyer for Cuban dissidents, and he gets roundly arrested, put in jail, tortured, and everything else. And the reason, and so she's right now one of the faces most associated with with Cuban dissidents who are inside of the country and everything, because she writes her blog usually from her home in Cuba, and so she gets criticized as like a puppet of the United States, the capitalist regime of the United States. Of the she's anti-revolutionary. She's pro-imperialist. The propaganda is pretty popular, or at least is very well trafficked by the Communist Party machine, directed from Havana through all the island of Cuba. And so she's one of the few people who's able to even blog, given that internet is nearly inaccessible in
right. But I think eventually it's gonna hit there.
Eventually,
it is. Everything's gonna eventually.
And stuff comes
well,
out.
Everybody thinks Russia's worse off now if you live over there.
I understand.
That's the thing. When I was in Germany, I left Germany, and if I had known, I would have stuck around. I left Germany right. I could have killed myself. November 1st, right before the Berlin Wall came down. It came out on November 7th. I was there and back on a plane to the States November 1st. If I had known that was going to come down, I would have stuck around. I would have kept my ticket going back over to the States.
Oh, so you were there when it happened?
No, I would have been had I known it happened so like that. It wasn't any kind of preparation. But it was also one day, bam, they're taking the wall down. And I was like, damn, if I was there, I would have got with my buddies in the car, my German buddies, my American buddies. We would have driven all the way to Berlin. We would have partied on that wall. We would have had a good fucking time. And I missed it for 6 days. My point is this, is that a lot of people...
Now you know how I felt.
A lot of people don't like the state of over there now. They actually look back and go, God, it was better when there was a sense of communism.
Yeah.
Well, in the other countries.
East Germany,
Yes. Well, the whole thing is a lot of people don't like now who is bombarding their cities and towns because of the wall going down. All of them. You can call them the Turks. There's a big problem with the Germans and Turks over there. Big problem. It was like that when I was there back in the 80s. Big problem with Turks. The Turks and Germans are always fighting in the streets. Always,
what about
gangs?
Is worse as bad as the Greeks and Turks?
Well, that too. That too. But my point is a lot of people say it's gone to shit. With Russia, once that became non-communist, you know who took over there? The mob. The Russian mob.
Somebody
That
had
the hell
to take care of all the void of power.
The Russian mob is, and they're worse than the Italian mob.
They say money moving over.
They say they're worse than the Italian mob. The Russian mob. They say they're worse.
They
are. More evil. Way more mean.
We had them in Brooklyn. Let me tell you something. You don't F with these guys. You really don't mess with these guys. They had them in Brooklyn, okay? And you go up to Coney Island, that's all Russian mob. And it's like they look just like the Italian mob, but even more sons of bitches. You can see it in their eyes. They're like, I don't want to even look at this guy.
Brutal, man.
Cause they give you,
they
give you dirty looks. They walk by you and go like this, and they don't give a shit. They don't.
I am not hungry.
10:58 point roast. We're going till about 11:25 or so. 11:20. This is from looking at your screen from left to right. This is Chris Payne, Harry Underwood, our guest, Derek Barrett, Irwin Martinez, Anthony Harris, Make It Scary.
What a show!
Would be sitting there, but his ass is in the other room.
Yeah, he's outside somewhere.
This is the show we do.
He's in his room watching
Monday
it from
through
there.
Friday, 8 to 11 a.m. And we're talking right now about Cuba. We're talking about news in general. Basically, I want to go to Cuba. That's all I got to say, man. I'm going to Cuba. I hear they love when Americans come over there. I hear they welcome Americans.
You'll be able to drive a 1940
I don't care, man.
Chevrolet.
I hear it's my scene. I love it.
Okay, we need to send them some good consumerism, some good Western capitalism. That's what made Russia fall. If you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Blue jeans.
Blue jeans. Capitalism.
We gotta get us some blue jeans.
Yes,
we gotta get rid of
And
$100. I'm
gonna try to bring something over to Cuba when I go. I'm gonna take a box full of my movies
and a cigar.
I'm gonna take Nick Chopper, Vicious Cycle, we'll go past.
I know you ain't seen this shit, dude.
I'm going with you.
I'm
going with you.
This is all the rage in America, man.
I'm gonna get a big following in Cuba of my movies.
That's my goal. And to get Cuban cigars.
He's gonna be the next dictator. He's gonna run in there.
Those are.
No, the hell with that. We buy them there. They're cheap.
Watching,
all right, we got conversations left and right. What are y'all going on over with?
I love it.
Talk
That's
to the audience.
Well,
that's stop putting your hand in my face.
Harry was talking about the Google glasses that we talked about last week, about how they're able to, get the World Wide Web through their glasses.
Right.
If anyone is new technology, and I think that some of the school teachers thought it may not be good for students, even though it could be informational, but it could be distracting towards students who like watching the blackboard, and then all of a sudden, they're Googling something like that with the glasses.
Too much
or even if you're
too much.
But actually I have a different perspective on it. It was like it was inspired by because I'm very much very interested in how these glasses will impact all aspects of society. More so maybe than even the smartphones that we have right now, because I expect that these will soon maybe have Android on them and everything. If these glasses or these augmentations of prescription glasses or sunglasses will get that much more verbose in terms of their processing power to have whole operating systems on them. I did a paper a while back talking about it was for school, of course. It was a very long paper talking about how this would be useful for college, for virtual online distance education, and how if it were to get to that point, that you'll be able to do 3D models. Like what I don't know if anyone here has heard of Second Life. Anyone heard of Second Life?
No. In what way?
Okay.
I've heard the term. Is this a business?
No, it's a game. It's basically a social network.
Oh no, I haven't heard a lot of that social network stuff.
Second Life actually. You mentioned it's a game. It's on the game engine. It just doesn't have any points. But
you got what is it? Some kind of something bucks.
Linden dollars. Yeah,
whatever.
they have their own currency that it basically you combine with with US dollars or whatnot. And what you're able to to do, you're able to create an avatar. You're able to build your own house and everything. It's like what Minecraft already does and everything. Except, but then it's they're doing even virtual real estate where they're selling it for millions of dollars. With
the glasses?
Well, not with Second Life.
Oh, yeah, people get married, all this shit.
Married with their by meeting online as avatars and everything, and then getting married in Second Life after they meet each other in real life. We were talking about that in class last week with Dr. Gerald.
You look nothing like your avatar.
Exactly. Because I don't look nothing like my avatar. My avatar is furry anyway, so it's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, your name's Harry Underwood. Of course it's furry.
Yeah, of course. I don't know if you've heard of Furry Panda, but yeah. But yeah, what happened? Yeah, but what I would imagine is that Second Life, the avatars, the architecture, the models, the animations, and everything. These would be, and there's videos that demonstrate this. I don't know if we can show it on here actually. If we're to get maybe 10 or 15 years into the future, where these glasses will be able to support whole 3D CGI environments and everything like Second Life, then you'll be able to build virtual architecture with augmented reality in real space.
That's just too much technology for me. I don't agree with that though. And this is a whole other show because we don't have that much to talk about this. No. But I don't like technology going that obscure, that haywire.
Or
I just
don't,
man. I don't want it to be I don't want it to be like Strange Days, the movie Strange Days.
I like that.
No, the movie's great. Yeah. I like the movie, but I don't want it to be like that.
What if yesterday?
I
don't like that.
Okay, probably Strange Days is one example because it's actually talking about recording. Being able to
your fantasies and doing the stuff you normally wouldn't do, rob a bank or something.
It's kind of retarded way of communicating.
Yeah, there's been other movies that have done that.
It's kind of a weird way.
Yeah, I'm just not. and this comes weird coming from the atheist who's not biblical, but in a way, I don't want these damn like microchips put in me. I just don't.
Okay, that's what we're talking about. Well, that's what that movie Chip Factory was talking about when I was in, where we basically, where my character
put this chip in.
Chip. We were just selling them like supplements in a way, like vitamins.
That's the scene in the movie we showed earlier.
Yeah,
because would you take a barcode?
Well, just in general, I think in a way this new technology is a form of that, and this is coming from a guy who's not into the Bible, but I do think it's a form of that. When you let technology start getting too much in charge, we already have Kroger self-checkouts. I mean, I can see this next. I can see next you going through the regular person checkout, but it's no longer a person. It's a torso. It's a robot from here up, sitting on a freaking counter in front of a cash register, and you're coming across and it's going, "Hello, how are you today?" And it's doing your shit. This is where I see it going. Because I see Kroger having robots serving you, and then your self-serve also.
Yeah, but
and no humans.
But actually, but they already have that now, at least to a certain extent. At the not at the stores, but I'm talking about in at least to an extent in the bank now, because they don't
see a robot.
Well, not a robot, but they have now where you go just put your fingerprint on there because they take your fingerprint at the bank.
I do all that shit. I don't want it that badly. Okay?
Oh no, that's way too incriminating.
I love Star Wars. I love sci-fi movies. I love sci-fi books, but I just don't want that shit just ruling the world.
Can I offer?
I agree.
Okay.
Well, you can't keep it quick.
I agree.
We gotta go to other stuff.
God damn it! All I said was 3 words, and already you're rushing me.
I'm talking to him. I'm talking to Harry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, and look at the camera. We got Rosalind who can't hear. She reads lips.
You're right about the issue of privacy, of the pervasiveness of technology. But we're talking about this in class as well about also who control. What really matters is how technology is controlled. If it's formatted to like to like one particular, or is it centralized? Is that control of the technology centralized? Is the network centralized, or the distribution, the broadcasting centralized to like one particular set of controllers or monopoly of controllers? That really is the question right there, because does it empower individuals and to make them like interdependent with each other? Or does it only devote the social networking and everything to only specific bit player monopolies? Like because right now the present monopolies are Google Plus, Twitter, Facebook, and there's like projects that try to like work for a more decentralized.
But Harry, let's cut to the chase. What do you think about? I mean, that's all good and fine with the big words, but my thing is, do you think technology, in a nutshell, don't go into this long dissertation, I know you're a college student, but the thing about it is, in a nutshell, is too much technology a bad thing? I mean, is anybody on the panel here for more technology?
Okay,
no.
What do you think, Chris? Are you for it? Do you want all this new technology?
I'm not a big tech guy.
Me neither.
You know that.
Me neither.
I'm old school.
Me too. That's our age. It's our age.
If we look at it,
I mean, we're in our 40s.
I'm with him on this as far as where is all the information going. Well, y'all know where it's going. It's going to some damn computer in some mountain where they collect all the data on you. Okay, I'm sorry. It's probably true, people. But,
if you're breathing, there's
it's
data.
It's probably Google. And Google said that they want everybody to have these damn glasses on.
I'm not fucking
and honestly, just think what would have happened yesterday if like say 100 of them people had these glasses on. They'd already know who blew this shit up, right?
Kind of like
they would. Somebody would.
Kind of like person of interest.
You could have a mosaic. At the time frame, everything time stamped down to a second.
And being able to navigate
and from
between
every
views,
different view and angle at any given second.
Yes.
But
also, what about this?
Dude.
The one thing, see, that's another disadvantage with having the Google Glass. Like when people already having problems, like people already getting access right now with just texting on the phone.
Yeah.
Now, what if they use that same technology using texting with the Google Glass while they're driving?
Doing this with their iPhone.
That's actually related to, you mentioned cars and driving. Over in Russia right now, remember the meteorite that struck in Russia?
Went by, yeah.
Yeah, and it was the only reason why people were able to see it from so many angles was because in Russia over 1 million drivers have dash cams in their cars. These cams are installed by people on either request or by default because they do not trust the police. The police are very corrupt, and also people, even non-police people, may want to scam them by faking car accidents and then say, "Oh, you got to pay me with insurance money." And so they don't. And so the having dash cams is a way for them to do what's called surveillance, SOUSVEILLANCE, rather than surveillance, which is SURVEILLANCE.
Okay, we're almost out of time. Briefly,
yes.
Wrap it up.
Ultimately, whenever it comes to Google Glasses and whatnot, we need to make sure that even if it's Google Glasses, that the control of that information is not centralized. That the technology is not biased.
I just don't think we need
biased.
it. I don't think we need it. I just don't think there's a reason for it.
Right.
We've already got cameras. Use your freaking cameras the way you want to use them. I already kind of.
We
I'm
didn't
already
really
against them doing
cameras.
the whole Big Brother cameras on every street shit too.
Yeah.
But the thing about it, we're going to throw more of these kind of ways for people to see shit. Yeah, you're right, Chris. It might help out to find people to find terrorists.
Yeah. It does help.
But I guarantee it's going to be a worse. It's going to cause something worse later on.
Yeah.
We don't want to happen.
Yep.
Like
And it's already
Terminator.
happening.
Like Terminator.
It's happening. There are people that were killed that probably nobody knows about because all they had to do was look up on Facebook
Sweet potato
and
pie.
say, "Who the hell knows?"
Yes,
Okay,
please, daughter.
let's go. We got 3 more segments to go.
We got
here.
segments galore.
Yes.
Okay, back to Urban. So Urban's pissed. The mayor shut him down.
Yep.
Urban thinks that they penciled him in for last week so that if he complains, they're going to show a piece of paper that says, "I had it penciled in," but Urban knows darn well that they said May the 15th.
And I affirmed it 3 times because I'm a little deaf and I kept asking her.
Let's get to this stuff quick. We have to get this out more for the cause. Today at 5 p.m., City Hall, Justice for Junebug Rally and March.
Please be there.
We're going to be out there for about an hour. We're going to move inside at the 6 o'clock, third Tuesday of the month City Council meeting.
Yep.
Those who want to sign up can sign up. They're only going to take 3 people that deal with one of the same topics.
Right.
I'm not going to do the Junebug thing. I'm going to leave my spot open for one of the other people. I'm going to bring up Precinct 3 records. It's going to be my topic.
That's perfect.
You guys work out your other stuff.
And
Come
you're
to
going to
that
go
if you're
first.
interested.
You
Okay.
have to go first
Well,
because you preface us.
I'm going to go in as far as freaking signing up.
Well,
on
you're
my
going to
side.
sign before me.
But anyway, go to that if you want to. See that tonight. Whatever. Come out to
Right.
City Hall. That's downtown near Rosa Parks Square. We'll be there.
And
Get
I'm
that
going
out
to be
of the way.
calling on the mayor to resign, so there'll be interesting drama going on there once again.
Also, want to say this. May 2nd, Cheryl Davis, Sammy Davis Jr.'s sister, she's got the National Day of Prayer thing set up. We'll talk more about that closer to May 2nd.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to get that in.
If
real
you're
quick.
there tonight, you will know all of this.
Yes.
It'll all be repeated.
Yes.
I hope I get a bullhorn.
Come on out. Let me do Eat Your Words real quick. We haven't done it for 2 days now. I got the book. I'm going to do 2 I picked real quick. I think they're both very fitting with today's show. First one's H.L. Mencken's general statement, which I love. This is one of my favorite statements that I've been quoting for years.
Come on, baby.
It's
Bring it
H.L.
on.
Mencken says, "No one ever went broke underestimating the taste of the American public." That's damn true.
That's
Justin
great.
Bieber and all that junk. And then this one fits because we had a lot of we had a lot of critics today, critics of our guests, critics of our show. This is what I got for the critics. This is from Mark Twain. He says the critic's symbol should be the tumblebug. He deposits his egg in somebody else's dung. Otherwise, he could not hatch it. There you go, Mark Twain.
There you go. Yeah.
So, there's our 2 Eat Your Words. I'll put those on the
That's
site.
beautiful.
We're going to have Chris Payne do Wordsmith in a minute.
Yeah.
And we got Daily Bread from Irvin.
And we'll close out.
So,
I already put down anyone put a page number and entry number for the.
And we will do
for
a
the
roster shout out in a minute also. We appreciate we had a great show today.
We did.
Great viewers, even you, Vorpalbite. Great viewers. Great. Thanks to Vaughn for putting us at the top spot. And Wordsmith.
Yep.
Page number.
All right, here we go. Page number.
Harry, you give us verse number. Somebody else give page number. I guess.
89.
Get 1 through 9 or so.
Rosalind gave 89.
Page 89.
Okay.
89.
Don't look. This is random. Give 1 through 8 or so.
Random number.
1 through 8.
7.
7. Count 7 down there, Chris. This is how we do Wordsmith every show, Harry.
Yeah, it's great. This is a great part of the show.
Does it fit?
No.
All right, give us another number.
No, it's good.
No, we gonna do this shit.
It's random.
Bye. Just plain B-Y, bye.
Yeah, baby.
Bye.
Okay. Bi comes from a prehistoric Germanic bi, as in like bisexual.
No.
B-I. Okay.
Which appears ultimately to be the same form as the second syllable of the Latin ambi. Hey, we know what ambidextrous is, correct? Okay. As in ambidextrous. Man. Okay. Greek amphi, as in amphitheater. And Old English Yummy. Damn you old English bastards. Who is that? Saibuki? It's all your fault.
Keep going, Chris.
Bye.
All of which meant on both sides. Round. There you go, your favorite kind of people. Irv. The original meaning of bi thus seems to be close to near. Bi is the basis of the prefix be, as in be fall and be long. So be long and
by long.
By.
Be longly by. Thank you, Chris Payne.
Thank you, sir.
And if anybody out there could assess what the hell Chris just said, let me know.
Yeah, and by the way, you did, but he did a lot more clear.
We need Rosetta Stone for that. Where's Rosetta Stone?
No, I'm serious. He sounded the best today, which is a danger zone. You got to go back to your redneck ways. Don't forget. That's where you came.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we was dealing with the word bi. I mean, what the fuck?
That was easy.
True. I can't redneckify B-Y.
That's true.
That was rubbish.
Steven says that was a rubber.
Daily bread.
All right, daily bread. Here we go.
Saibuki, we're going to go say bye to you, brother, if you're out of here. I would be joining you, Saibuki, but I got to respect his thing because he's got to respect my shit for 3 hours during the show. So I got to be equal. Saibuki, see you tomorrow, buddy. Take care.
All righty.
You'll see us tomorrow.
This is for April 16th,
Everybody bow
Tuesday, and here we go. Cape Tribulation is the name of this chapter. On June 10, 1770, British navigator James Cook's ship hit a reef off the northeast coast of Australia. He sailed the ship onto the deeper water only to hit a reef again, and this time the collision almost sank the ship.
You say reefer?
This experience moved Cook to write the ship log. The North Point was named Cape Tribulation because here began all our troubles. Many of us have experienced a trial that has seemed to trigger a sting on other trials. The loss of a job, the death of a loved one, an unwanted divorce, or a decline in health could all be part of the list. Even though a crisis may seem to be our Cape Tribulation, God is still sovereign, and He most certainly is in control. It is His purpose to use tribulation to build resilience into us, James writes. My brethren, count it a joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. James 1, 2, and 3. The word translated patience means to have staying power or the ability to endure. In the midst of your life-threatening and life-changing trial, remember that God is still at work. He wants to use your Cape Tribulation experience to build your character. He has promised His grace to see you through. 2 Corinthians. He who giveth more grace, when the burdens grow greater, He's sending more strength when he labors increase. To the added affliction and addeth his mercy, to multiplied trials, his service of peace.
From
That's
Dennis Fisher.
Dennis Fisher.
That was Dennis Rutherford. And
Dennis
this is
Fisher.
Flint.
And Flint, yeah.
And then, my brethren, count all your joy, fall into various
your what?
trials.
Joy.
Knowing your faith produces patience.
Do you want me to read it sometime?
That was good.
Derek, did you want me to take over?
Okay.
All right, Harry. Thanks, buddy, for coming
Great
on.
show.
Good show. Thanks for
Funny.
coming on.
Oh, right.
Great to see
And
you.
Chris Payne, thank you for coming on. Sorry about
Thanks
that.
for your time.
Chris, come back anytime. Harry, come back anytime. Derek,
Yes.
you better be coming on.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, shit. I can't carry the show with this nutcase.
Yeah, I won't be late tomorrow. I hope not.
Yeah.
But
I do have.
let's do the roster.
Okay. We want to thank all of our viewers and chatters. Because 77 City Bum Diaz Photo Guy, Rosalind Nicole. We have Vorpal Bite. We have Yurik Wildcat, Gamer Girl, 3 Bears, Jar Jar Binks.
Thank you.
Risa Anna Cassie Nukes Network.
Greybeard.
Mahari Nudsack, Steven, Betty's Daughter, Carpet Dog, Planet X, Sigas. Also,
Earlier, Donnie Curry.
Donnie Curry and Saibuki, who was here earlier.
Ear Big Skillet was
Ear
on.
Big Skillet, yes.
We
Earl
had
Big Skillet.
quite a few. We had a good
number.
Yeah, we did.
And we were actually
I
number
think a lot of
one.
these,
Number one.
We now moved to 2.
Number moved to 2, just
said.
slightly.
Number 1. All right.
Crap. Well, we were
back
somewhere.
for Hump Day.
Tomorrow.
5 o'clock today, Rosa Parks Square. 6 o'clock, City Council. The shit's gonna hit the fan.
Yeah,
again.
don't hump too much tonight because tomorrow's the day.
Definitely
you
have
start
some
to
news for tomorrow about the baggy
Yes.
pants law in Louisiana Parish.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
We got some wing dang doodles for you tomorrow.
It's gonna be great.
On Thursday.
Rickard Burns.
Yes.
You're going down.
See you tomorrow. Can you smell what the roast is brewing? See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Awesome.
Story you were about to
Hey. So, yeah.